Hey everybody, Ken Plume here with another edition of Force 5, the show where I have an amazing guest on to talk about their 5 favorite Star Wars collectibles from their personal collection. Maybe there'll be more than 5. We're loose about this. No one's making rules except for us in the moment, because that's it. We're going to live in this moment. And my special guest in this moment is, you know what? I'm just going to say he's on he has his own channels. There's Toy Anxiety. There's DL44, there's Gotham City Tonight, but honestly, he's every channel's guest. He's been on so many channels. He's all over the place. You can find if he's not on camera, you can find him in the chats. He's always there. He's always around. Ryan Doell, thank you for coming on the show. It's an honor to finally have you on.
Dude,
I feel left out. Like this almost legitimizes any channel.
That was like, I should now refer to myself as everybody's guest. Yeah, I like that. You're
welcome.
That.
You're welcome.
Even though like Alex Brewer kind of built me the best guest you'll ever have, and I was like, let's see who you've had on. I'm like, Matt Fraction, Chip Zdarsky. I'm just like going through all these people. Bobby, Matt. I'm just like, what? What is it? Alex has clearly not watched an episode.
No. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Every guest, this is your episode. Those were their episodes.
That's right.
Again, we're in this moment together. This is us. This is our space.
This is it.
We're not worried about them. They're in the past.
Yeah.
We're not worried that Paul Sun-Young Lee had an episode. His was so long ago. We don't care.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Right? That was like 5 seasons of Disney Plus ago.
Yeah, and there's like 15 different toy obsessions that have come and gone with him in that span of time.
Oh, that's so true. The one just passed right now as we were talking.
But there's one thing I can absolutely guarantee is there's something that was when we recorded. There's probably something in his collecting room, and he's in a new collecting room now. But there's probably something in there that was still in its box that has still not been opened.
Oh, and I guarantee you there's probably a storage locker full of it.
Some of it, it's the same thing accidentally ordered multiple times.
Oh yeah, dude. But I benefit from that in a sense because it's just like, hey, who needs this? And it's always like, well, one of us does. He's got a friend with whether it's myself or Kevin or Steve 3, who does unboxings on DL44 Network. He's our Micro Galaxy collector and unboxer, right? So it's like, if Paul has too much of something, he's got plenty of hands around him that are like, dude, we'll just give it, just hand it over.
So really nothing is truly considered sold out until you check with Paul first.
But kind of half true in a sense, because he's he has he'll get it, but then he also has 5 other people looking for it. Right? And no one communicates with each other because he just goes, it's like, well, if this one doesn't find it, this one will.
He puts up the call signal.
Right.
It's an alert that goes out to you all. Does he send regular updates? Is it just like, here's what I'm looking for?
Oh, 100%. I need that. That's all I need that's all we need to hear. Right? And then someone...
But he activates you all. You're like the Toy Rangers.
Yeah, he activates everybody, and then next thing you know, ends up with 5 of them.
And he's very polite, and he's not gonna be ungrateful that everyone put in that effort. So he's going to accept them.
Right. And in some cases it's worked out in his favor because sometimes only one person does find it. Right. And then sometimes, I can't think of a time he hasn't been able to get one of the things he's looking for.
So the system works. That's the bottom line.
Works.
The system works.
I'm not going to judge. I mean, his wife might judge him, but I'm not going to judge him for it.
Yeah, you all are horrible enablers.
It's true. But he does it back, and he does it to us in return as well. I had like a night, I was like, I'm just going to get these for Micro Galaxy Squadron, and he has blown that up. Yeah. So it's on him. It's on him and Steve 3.
None of us are great 100%. At moderation, I think, is really the key to any of this. Is we think we pick a lane and then it turns into a super highway.
It's totally true. Do you buy a box of Oreos and have 2? No. No one does. And it's the same thing with toys.
Yeah, you look at it and you go, 1 Oreo a night. That's it. Just one a night.
That's a night.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's your tea time snack.
Right.
That's it. You put the rest away. You put it away.
Yeah, that away, just beside me, but the thing's kind of half closed, right?
Yeah.
Every
I mean,
time,
they can
every
come
time.
back. Things come back, but for
Yeah.
now, away. You push away.
God, it's so God. I feel so called
That's how
out.
you portion, right?
It's
You just have to take at least like a half beat between the next one, and that's how you portion things out.
God. I would do terrible on the rebellion if we had to do portions. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's best that we not think about the amount of toys that are coming out in any given year, month, or
Oh
day.
man, that's absolutely true. And I got like 3 shipping notices today alone.
I just saw some shipping notices come
Yeah, so
through.
it's just none of them is my cantina, but that's okay.
We'll see the cantina eventually.
Yeah, I can't wait for that
Look at
thing.
what an amazing Christmas gift the ghost was for everybody.
Oh man, the ghost was
All those people
man.
scrambling out of town, going, "I have to sign for this." What?
Yeah, right. I did. I was mine showed up obviously while I was also at my parents' place back on the farm, uh, and I was lucky enough that my buddy Tyler he went and he was able to pick it up for me. I had to send like a big email with the yes, it's okay if this person comes and gets it and da 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 da. But it was like
Oh, I thought they'd go in like full Dole cosplay,
yeah,
and it
he might be able to.
it's actually me. I'm here. I'm here to pick up my thing. If you can
Yeah,
see on this YouTube stream, this is actually me.
here's my Ecto Glow Elite card. So clearly it's me. It's but it was that thing of he goes and grabs it and he's like, this thing takes up half my SUV. And I was like, and you start to have that like of like, oh God, where am I gonna put it?
We haven't gotten
Kind
dimensions
kind
on
of
the Cantina box, right?
we haven't. We have not gotten it
It's
yet.
gotta be
But I only got
at
the
least the
half
same size,
got the
right?
half portion of the
Oh,
I didn't get
you didn't get the full deluxe?
no, because I already know what space I'm dealing with, and I did not want to. I was like, no, I'm just gonna get just getting the half. That's it. That's it. That's what I went with.
You're not gonna have half regret when you get it in. You're
I
like,
don't know. I've already got an idea of what I'm gonna do. Like if you see the Razor Crest behind me there, that whole top shelf is right now Tatooine and the old cantina. I took the cardboard one from Power of the Force.
right,
I carved out the bar. I replaced it with the plastic one that they had like the cantina sets where you build the bar
right.
and you get those 2 other characters and you build the round
You talking
the
about the
curved
one that came
piece.
out in Saga or
Yeah, the one
the
that came
30th
out in
anniversary?
I well the cardboard one is Power of the Force 2 and then
Right.
there was like
And then they had a
to get
Build-A-Bar segments in like Saga, and
right and
then
then
they
the
did it in the 30th anniversary.
anniversary they did the other 2 last pieces to
Of
connect
that. So
the
you
bar.
okay.
So I slid that right in there and it fits perfect with even the centerpiece in there. I got all my Cantina aliens in there and I was already doing this before they announced the Cantina because I was already like, well, I'm just buying to buy. I need set vision, I need set goals. And so I
You need the
started
full
collecting
diorama.
right. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a Cantina bar. I've always wanted one. And I'm going to collect just Tatooine stuff. And then sure enough, like a year later, they announced because this was already when the Ghost was coming out. And then I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to focus on this. And then sure enough, a year later, it's like, well, here's the Cantina, here's the Tonica sisters. Here's now we're gonna do Return to Tatooine. So now I've got streets,
And you
you
went up to
know,
that shelf that you had set up and you spent all that time on, you just swept it off.
yep, just
Done. Done. You're
done.
gone. You're out of
One
here.
arm, just one arm gone. Right into the bin. They'll release everything in TVC. It's
Do you have
fine.
those same powers that Robo does, that every time he does a custom, they'll announce the
Yeah,
official version of it?
maybe, but I mean, this didn't cost me a lot. I needed these aliens anyway because I know
Right.
they're not going to remake everybody. There's just too many, and I feel like Hasbro has it's awesome, but also sucks because they've got so much content that they can make new toys out of. The problem is they're also bottlenecked because there's too much content and they can't keep up.
Right. And there aren't toy stores like there used to be. There aren't ways
Right.
to sell this that would justify having an entire cantina wave.
Right. Or just even in general, trying to like do Skeleton Crew or which they haven't done in TVC, which you brought up in Alex's thing. Trust me, I say till the end. And then
So when
they
you saw Mondo doing squads, you're looking like, why can't Hasbro do squads? Why can't we get squads box sets?
they kind of do. Like, I mean, we're getting the Force Ghost 3-pack. That's a squad. We get the 5-pack of pilots. That's a squad.
Yeah, but then you kind of feel like, yeah, but are they listening to the squad?
Like, I honestly think they do, and I think here's the one thing I've noticed about TV.
I give all of the benefit and grace to the Hasbro team, who are dealing with a very untenable situation when it comes to pleasing a lot of masters.
Yeah, oh, dude, I can't even imagine. Like, there's a part of me that's like, I would love to have this job where I talk with Lucasfilm and be like, "Hey, let's make this." At the same time, I also would hate
and the
that
licensee
job.
goes, "No,
Yeah, right.
that's not in our plan right now."
Right. But I mean, like, I feel like they're working together in this nice. I feel like there's some sort of motion going where it's just like, I like that they do Return to Tatooine. I like that they're doing Battle of Geonosis. I've been calling these seasons of toy collecting. So we had like season 1, we're going into season 2. We kick it off with the HasLab, we build up from there. Whether it gets funded or not, it goes.
Right.
So
we're going to get Geonosis stuff regardless.
And I'm all for it. And so now
it just might be a smaller lot that's landing there.
It might be. The poster
might be from
not
people's collections that already exist.
Right. And the poster might not be as big, but it'll just be a darker shade of brown than the last poster.
Now I feel bad about this poster that's going to have this big empty spot because they already designed it and did the photography.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? It still has time. I hope people have backed it that want it, that can get it and all that kind of stuff. I want it to fund. And I say that about every HasLab, so I mean, it's not an original quote from me.
Except for that one you hated so much.
Which one?
Well, we're not going to tell people about the one.
Oh,
yeah, but you were very much against it.
It's so I'm hoping, because now going into that season 3 after the Battle of Geonosis, this is what I'm hoping. This is my hope,
which is the big anniversary year.
It's not only a big anniversary year, we're getting Mando and Grogu movie. All within this next
right. Well, so the Mando and Grogu movie is going to be coming out as they're announcing. What's going to be the HasLab that ships in the anniversary year, and what the theme of the anniversary year is going to be.
Yeah. So I would like the theme to be Mando and Grogu, only because of there's so many characters we still haven't gotten, like Pelimoto. That's just one instance. And then plus we want Sigourney Weaver's character, whoever she's going to be, and any of these new characters. There's still a lot from Mando that we have. Frog Lady. I could keep listing. I love listing. But we haven't gotten any of those, and I'm just being patient because that's all you can be. I have no control or say over this.
You know what? Maybe the anniversary year, the HasLab will be potpourri. Maybe it's just going to be just a whole buried mess, just everything.
So just like the years before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? But at the same time, because you're right, it's the 50th anniversary coming up as well. And I'm hoping they do. I don't necessarily need something big, because I feel like if you've been buying enough HasLabs, it doesn't matter how big your place is, you're probably running out of some space. So it doesn't need to be massive. Maybe tall.
It's going to be a modern 6 foot long Rebel transport.
Oh my god, I would love that, but man, it'd be rough. But again, I kind of hope it's something from they've already done A New Hope, because that's kind of what the Cantina is. But everyone talks about how they want the Death Star. Like
the Death Star, for me, I like the idea.
I like the idea too, but I don't know.
But the execution, I can't quite wrap my head around what makes people happy and also is even approachable. Like the way you would want it to be done, then we're looking at like $1,000 in these times for now.
Right.
$1,000, which it's I kind of, for that anniversary year, it'd be nice to have a HasLab that's accessible to the most amount of people. And I feel that that's probably the sweet spot for that is $250 to $350. Like that's the one that doesn't seem like, oh, I can't make a house payment or a car payment or buy groceries for months,
Yeah,
or maybe my
right.
kids don't need shoes.
Maybe,
Uh,
maybe these are fine.
yeah,
But I'm totally with you on that. And you know what? Because I could sit there and go, this is what I want, but then complain about it. But I also like to come in with like my own ideas and solutions. And I still think you could get a base for your HasLab Death Star, and then you just start doing modular pieces, just like they were already doing with Tatooine, with Jabba's palace, right?
right.
You
So
you
so your
you
base,
do
so maybe the HasLab is the Death Star facade.
is right, and then from
And
there
then
they
you
start
spin it around, and then that's where you insert all of your little dioramas that are released as individual sets throughout the campaign.
throughout the
Maybe one is
campaign
exclusive to the,
to the HasLab as a tier, right? You can throw that in there.
but not like a jerk one. Not like one that people go, really? That's the one you made exclusive, so no one can ever get it?
I feel that they're getting better at that in a way. I feel like toy companies are kind of getting. We should one point during this conversation we are going to talk about exclusives and what exclusive actually means, because it's something that's been kind of bugging me since San Diego Comic-Con and seeing the outrage and entitlement about the Black Series set and how it sold out. And it's like, guys, it's called an exclusive. Calm down, right? But anyways, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But I think you're right. I think it has to be something that's just like, I don't know, like it's like again, like you could put the throne in there as the exclusive.
Or like
But I think
Tarkin's
people
toilet. Tarkin's toilet is the
Tarkin,
exclusive.
why not? Why not? I don't know. I feel like no matter what you put in there, even as the exclusive, people are there's gonna be someone. And I think this is what I'm trying to get to is that like even when it comes to HasLabs, when it comes to figures they release, when it comes to their March Madness brackets that fans do, if you've ever noticed, they're like, list us, what are your top characters you want to see? Everyone has no one has the same top characters they want. Like no
Yeah.
one's on the fans are not on the
Also,
same
you have
page.
characters that have sometimes 5, 10, 15 different variations.
Correct. So
I
it's
want
just
Queen Amidala. Okay, which one?
which one? Yeah. So it's I always kind of feel like nobody's really on the same page. You can make the one character, you're gonna have, you're it doesn't matter. Like everyone has the universe is now so vast
Right.
that
Or it wasn't done
you
right.
know
Like, well, you did that character, but where are the barbell hips? Take it back.
right.
Burn
Where's
all of
those
these.
I need swivel ankles. It's all correct. It's all of that. So it's got to be tough to be. That's what I mean by it's got to be tough to be Hasbro because you're listening to the fans, but then of course you make the one thing that's on people's lists, and you've got another group of fans going, nobody wanted that. No one asked for
And
this.
also a production schedule that is a year to a year and a half out.
Right.
So you're listening to the fans now. The things that you listen to when the fans, they're not going to see for a while. And
Mm-hmm.
other conversations have happened in the interim.
Right. Right. That so much happens during this time. So, anyways, uh, I think my point really at the end is you can't please everyone, but I feel like when regardless of what you make, if it's cool, people will get it. And I feel like Hasbro's been doing, and Hot Toys and Micro Galaxy Squadron, all these people that have the license right now making these really cool toys, and Disney Parks too. I'll throw them
Oh
in
yeah,
that
I mean
pot.
look at this Star Speeder. Did you get a Star Speeder?
Oh, we'll get to that. And I feel like they're all the like right now I think we're people say 10, 15 years ago was the golden time to collect, and to a point they are correct. We were getting a lot, but there was a lot of re-releases during that time just on different card backs, or different accessories. I
Yeah,
think
even the
now
30th anniversary line was a lot of re-releases and repackagings, just with a coin on a card back and maybe a
yeah,
few different accessories.
maybe you'd build a droid part, like something different, every time. But I mean,
It was just
it's
volume. People have nostalgia for the volume of stuff.
right. Bingo. That's absolutely it. So it's the, I want, it's the I want, everybody wants something. And
Oh, do you have a
I
song
feel,
prepared?
no, right? God, I should have. If I was Mad Hatter reviews, I would definitely have a song ready to go. But you know, I want everyone to just collect what you love. That's it. Just enjoy
Yeah,
it. Doesn't matter what
I wish
scale.
the
Just go.
tone and tenor of the collector sphere would just relax
Just
and
relax.
enjoy the things a little more and accept
Yeah.
like there's just so much vehemence that comes out and just flat out anger about decisions and releases and
Yeah. Well, even before, I think the one great thing about starting Toy Anxiety is that we got to meet and talk to a lot of people in the toy industry, had a better understanding of how things work. So it's actually upped my appreciation for my collection. It's given me far more patience. Not to say I wasn't impatient, but it was
right,
just like one of these things where you're sometimes like, "Ah, where's this? What's taking so long for this?" Because you're kind of like you don't know.
right.
And then when you kind of
I
hear
mean,
like,
the projects
yeah,
you've worked on, and
yes,
you've worked on things you've had to sit on for a long time, as far as knowledge that you've had. So have
yes,
I, and you know all these things that are going on in the background, or decisions
hmm,
that were made, or things that were changed, or things that were lost, and for a myriad of reasons, these decisions are made. Some of which eventually might be communicated, many of which
hmm,
never will be, and they just happened.
correct,
And just the idea that the way I always talk about books and any of these things is they don't get released, they escape.
right,
Like the fact that things eventually get out there is just a minor miracle and should be appreciated as
dude,
such. And you have Hasbro that or any of these companies that it's fine when you have your own IP and you're making your own decisions on a thing, but if you're a licensee, then there are so many other factors that are going into it. If you're a legacy licensee, then that's different than if you have active projects that are
right.
informing that IP.
Right. And I can't even imagine what the IP tax is on Star Wars. I can't even imagine what it is.
No. Well, I mean,
Right.
we see it reflected in pricing. We
We
see
see
it
it reflected
reflected.
in pricing, but we still don't know. Like we still
No.
have no idea. Like it was nice at San Diego Comic-Con because they had Chris from Lucasfilm licensing on the panel. And it was great to kind of hear from him and get a little bit of transparent. Like we'll never get full transparency from
No.
Lucasfilm
No.
ever. However, it was really nice to kind of have him there because when the panel was done, it was like I raced to him and I was like, "Yo, I got questions because uh
And
because
in
you
a
can
puff of
ask."
smoke, he was gone.
Yeah, no, he was very very nice, and I was just like, and he did take the time to kind of talk to me and answer questions because it was, you know, you because sometimes you're just never sure, and sometimes because when you know what it's like dealing with clients, especially high end clients, sometimes things can be difficult, and you kind of want to hear a little bit of their side of like, because of course they are the client. No matter what happens on the client side, Hasbro has to be like, we love them. They're great to work with. They
Yeah.
are phenomenal. At the same time, it's like I just want to hear from him because it's like he's going to say the same thing, but I know tones. Right. So but it was nice just to kind of ask him questions and be like, how do they decide on their end that this is going to be Geonosis? How did they decide on their end it was going to be Tatooine? Like, what was in already their plans? Were like, this is cool, and
And
I'm
remembering
also
these plans go back years.
like years like we like it takes a year to make the toy, right? We were just saying how it takes a year to make the toy. It probably takes another 2-3 years before that to plan something like Return to Tatooine
Oh
and
yeah, well
what you're all
when you're announcing a HasLab that already has a prototype at your announcement, so you've already gone through the process with the licensee to get to that point, which means that
yes,
even before that, you had to have the internal discussions about what's our blue sky? What would we
yes,
love to
right,
do? What's
I,
possible? What can we build around? You know,
yeah,
whose
and
legs
they're
can we use to re-release this character or get this character out?
right, and I think they're in a really, I think for Hasbro in a sense too, they're, I think right now, because there's a big break between uh Andor season 2 and Mandalorian and Grogu. Like there's a nice big year of them just being able to be like, hey, now we can kind of catch up and we can world build for TVC. We can come up with some more main characters we haven't gotten to for Black
Oh yeah,
Series.
because it's been a sprint.
right.
Since the
It,
launch of Disney Plus.
since the launch, yes, exactly. So I'm kind of happy that us as fans, we get now time to kind of go back and digest some of these series and kind of go back and maybe rewatch some and maybe look at it differently now that we're not like just in general because we're
Well,
always
I mean,
like
yeah,
waiting
because there was no process. There was we watched it, and then the next thing came out,
and then the
and
next
we
thing
watched
came
it.
out.
Yeah,
So we never got to sit back and fully engulf the soundtrack. We never got to just sit back and look for these small details.
yeah. The little beats that people spark on that make lifelong memes and thoughts and emotional connections and
All that stuff. So I'm very much looking forward to actually going back and rewatching The Acolyte, and which I'm going to do while I'm back at my parents' place. I'm so stoked for that. So I'm
that's
going to
when they're
do
going to
that.
announce your Cantina shipping.
I, you know it. You know that's what's looking at. Every time
In
it
fact,
does not.
in fact,
It
everyone watching, place your bets right now
place
on
your
whether
hey
Ryan's going to let us all know if he
hey
gets the notice when he's out of town.
bet against it. That's where you'll make the most money because I have never been in town when a HasLab has shipped. I've always been out of
So
town for
really, if
whatever
anyone
reason.
wants to know when their HasLab's going to come, wait for you to leave town, and
Wait
then
for me
we'll
to leave
know the
town.
shipping is coming.
Yeah, but it's like even that I'm excited to go back and just totally have fun and watch Skeleton Crew again. I loved that show so much. And I want to go back and watch some of my favorite episodes of The Bad Batch. I mean, there's, again, like I said, like they've been on a sprint, whether it's animation, live action, it's been go, go, go. And I get that they're probably like, we need stuff for our streaming service. And as we keep making stuff, we keep making merch, which means we keep making money. It's just, that's the Disney grind,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's
But none of these shows got enough time to have traction that
none of
really
them.
builds, a longer sustaining merchandise
Well, not even just
presence.
merchandise, but like we're also. I'm like after season 1 of the Skeleton Crew, I was already like, when season 2, right? Hopefully they start filming season 2, and we haven't heard a thing because
No.
they don't know, right? They just like as again we haven't had time to just sit in it.
Well, I mean, those kids are getting so much older.
Yeah, but even if they do a time jump, I'm all for it. Like
Yeah, but the time jump is going to be like 30 years. It's
yeah, at this point it might be 30 years,
oh,
right?
they're
Like
going to be appearing in Starfighter.
dude, I'm for it. Bring it on. I am totally for that. But it's like
You
I
want to see him hanging
actually
at Ryan Gosling and Neil 30 plus years from
yep,
Skeleton Crew,
absolutely. Yeah, let's
but
see it.
looking exactly the same. We don't know how they age. We don't.
That's true. We don't. But my pitch for season 2 was going to be like American Pie in Star Wars. So now they're all going to prom, but they all got to hook up with somebody before prom. So that's what but Star Wars. That's what it has to be.
Now, where's the prom? Or is the prom going to be on at
Well,
Aden, or is it going to
at
be on that
Aden.
on the oh the maybe there's like a cross one with the war torn one because he left a
Well,
girlfriend behind. Is that
well, see,
maybe
here's
they're
the
going
thing.
to her prom?
This is Neil, right? So
Yeah,
Neil's got that one girl in class he sighs over. So he's already got a date. It's just like, it's got to be like any of those coming of age stories. So he has a date, which is her, but now that one from the war torn
from
country
Space
comes to
Canada.
visit. Yeah, from Space Camp. This one time at Space Camp, she comes over and now it's like, oh, what does he do? Because now his girlfriend from Space Camp
Yeah,
shows up, and now he's got he's got 2 dates for the prom. What's he gonna
done,
do?
sold.
Sold, right? Easy. This shit writes itself. I love it. I love it. Dude, Star Wars is the best, man.
Yeah, no, it's well. Let's go back in your own personal history with Star Wars and collecting.
Sure.
Can you recall what the first line of toys was that really sparked your interest? And like, I want more of these. I want to collect these
So
things.
it's funny, like, because I say I'm an Ewok generation kid because the first one I remember watching is Return of the Jedi. And then, of course, that leads into Ewok Adventures and the Ewoks and Droids cartoons. So, and I was just I was tiny, right? I was just a little toddler at that point. And so I always say that I'm a, I'm like a dark times kid, more or less, right? So it's I had cousins that had all the, like, a whole bunch of the Kenner toys,
Right.
and I loved them. And there was always ones that I wanted as a kid, but my parents kind of like, I think they just wanted me to stay in a different lane. They liked Star Wars, but they were already kind of like, well, that's fate, it's already, he's getting at this age. Like, it's that ship has sailed. But I had a few of them. But like, I wanted like Jabba the Hutt. I wanted Max Rebo Band. Everyone says Jabba the Hutt. I've heard that's across on every show. Jabba the Hutt. It is amazing. So when I finally got one of those, even as an adult, it was very exciting to get a vintage Jabba the Hutt. Nice, clean, complete one. It's such a good feeling.
It still holds up.
Still holds up. And but you know what? This can lead right into my first pick.
Okay, so Star Wars was your big first collecting love.
So but it is not.
So there we go. So Star Wars was around.
Star Wars was around, and I liked it, but it was like, because it's like I only had like
the older kids.
It was the older kids.
You were inheriting this.
Yeah, I was more or less. Yeah, I was inheriting it. And then so my transition from playing with toys to collecting toys actually was me kind of ditching Turtles at its run, then getting into comics, because now at this point Jim Lee is doing Uncanny X-Men, and now Marvel cards are coming out. And as we all know, back in our vintage, trading cards was our Wikipedia. That's how we learned about things. This is how we've discovered characters and teams and all that stuff. And then
this is the original Marvel universe.
Yeah, this is the original Marvel.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm getting those, and I'm already like, who's this? I'm already like finding those characters that are mine. And then I'm going to the spinner racks at the drugstore, and that's where I find Uncanny X-Men, and I find Comic Scene magazine, and I'm just like, what is this world? What is this world? And then sure enough, my first time I go to the comic shop, I find, like, someone finally tipped me off in elementary school of like, there's an actual store that just sells comics. What? In Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, there's just sure enough, it's a sliver in the wall. It's very 90s in that sense of like, it's dark, it's dusty. The guy behind the counter is a little weird. Kind
of resentful you're there.
Not actually, no, he was very excited to see someone young there that he could just kind of tip off and just be like, because I was like, what? Like, he's like, oh, you look like you're looking for something. And I said, there's a comic book, there's a team
like
on my trading cards.
In the Never-Ending Story.
Kind of, more like that. And I was like, there's this trading card I have, and I want to find a comic book of it. It's called Excalibur. Right there. Alan Davis, right? And I was like, this is it. This is my book.
Now, did he start you? Because the first trade would have been out by then at the very least.
Yeah, the first trade was, but I got a single issue. It was like in the 40s at this point.
But Alan Davis was back by then.
Davis was back by then. Yep. And so
I remember my Excalibur.
Oh, dude, it's I like my own those.
I still have those Excaliburs.
Same. I still have all my original ones that I bought. Even though like some of them are in rough condition.
I was there from the start. I just want to say.
Yeah, dude. As long as you read them and know what I'm talking about, I'm a happy man.
Yes.
But it was like that. It was, and I remember just like that was the kickoff for me, where I was like, this is beautiful. The art's beautiful. The story is weird. It's kind of like it just hit all the things that I love about
the characters are all fun.
Because I love Nightcrawler. That was like my gateway. And Kitty Pryde. Had a biggest crush on Kitty Pryde. Like that was like my first like comic crush. Kitty Pryde. She's a genius. She's got a dragon. She's cool, right? Big hair. Love it. And sure enough, like I go through there. What's the first ad on the page? Toy Biz X-Men. And that's where I was like, and as I'm just getting into this, they're now making toys of this and Nightcrawlers in that first wave.
With a suction cup? I can put them anywhere?
Bang, I got him hanging up right there, right? This is like my workstation. He's there as like my inspiration to work. And that was it. That was the collector bug, where I was like, I'm not playing with these. These get taken out, but they get put on a shelf and they get to stand there
And
It
Toy
looked great.
Biz released so many characters in those years.
Dude, I had no idea. Because next thing you know, I show up at the arcade one day, there's a 6-player X-Men game. Then a cartoon comes out. And I was like, how did I just happen to find this at the right time? Because even like, there was no announcement. I didn't hear any announcement about X-Men #1 coming out at this point, right? So I'm just getting in just as everything's just starting to
It's like that kind of
explode.
thing where they catch you smoking. Oh, well, now you're going to have the whole carton.
Now you have to have, yeah, that's kind of what happened. And I remember even my parents, like, this was, I was in grade 6 and they were concerned. They told my teachers that I was like, oh, we're a little concerned. He's like so big into these comics. He's still kind of, and like, we don't know. And they kind of, and it was funny
We're
because
very
it's,
concerned that
again,
he's reading all the time.
well, that was what they told me. They're like, hey, be happy he's reading and not getting into other things. And then that was it. After that, my parents were just like, when do you want to go to the comic shop? And that was it. They never, like, I never knew that until way later in life that was like because I realized there was a turning point where they just turned completely 180 on it. And it's like they just went and but like, yep, you want books? Let's get you books. Read, go,
So they
have
could have
fun.
saved you so much money over the years.
Could have saved me so much money. Right. So they were just like so kudos, props to my teachers back then too, that were very, they enabled me in that direction as well. Because they saw it, because of course I'm bringing stacks of comics to class. I'm sitting there doing homework, but then just glancing at covers because I'm just so happy.
And did you have a nice core group of friends around you that were also interested, or were you
Well, I grew up in a very small town, so I had like a couple friends that read comics, and it wasn't until high school, someone who was still my best friend, she came out with her own trade paperback, Jasmine Redford, and she was my go-to in high school. Where it was her and I from like grade 8 to grad, where all of a sudden it was like we would buy comics and we go to the comic store together, and we were the ones going through the back issue bins and buying Ninja Turtle Archie comics because they were better than they ever should have been.
Do you remember what comics she turned you on to, and vice versa? Do you remember which one?
Yes. So on my end, it was the Chris Claremont, John Byrne run of X-Men. Especially we were buying the classic X-Men run with all the Art Adams covers
and the nice backstories.
Yep, all that. So got her. So that's how she was like, oh, Storm is my, like, that's her guy, right? And then she got me into George Perez's Wonder Woman, and that's when I started discovered George Perez, and I was like, this guy can do no wrong.
And that would have been around the same time that Infinity Gauntlet was coming out, and
all right. So it was just there was a lot of that. Then of course, like, so I remember her specifically showing me George Perez, and then me showing her specifically like Art Adams and John Byrne, and we just and that's when everything just started like completely crossing over, and I was like big into like Robin and Superboy, Tom Grummett. I love his art.
Shared
Mark
a table with him at a convention.
Dude, also from Saskatoon.
So much fun.
Also, he's a Saskatoon legend. Tom Grummett. And
it was on the placard on his table. It was Saskatoon legend Tom Grummett.
Yeah. he's the nicest guy.
Yeah,
the nicest guy.
Great table mate.
Right. So he's, he was all over the news during Death of Superman as well, right? Like he would always, like, local news would always be talking about him. He was a big deal. And then so Tom Grummett was big inspiration of just like wanting to read more and venture out of Marvel and get more into DC as well.
And then also have that identity of somewhat of a local guy making good and making it out there in the industry must have been an inspiration.
Right. Yeah, it was phenomenal. And then
because you've said I live in a tiny town numerous times so far, so that was clearly very much on your mind at the time.
Yes, it totally was. And then I'm Mark Bagley's Spider-Man. That was another one where I was just like, I got on, like, Image is already kind of, I wouldn't say start, I guess maybe start at this point, because now we're still getting that Spider-Man era of like Bagley and Larson.
Right, which would have been the transition after.
Right.
Well, Larson would have come on when McFarlane went on to the Spider-Man title first.
Spider-Man title, right.
And
but
then
like
he was
our
doing amazing, and then they all left. So yeah, this
then
is
they all
probably
left. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But Mark Begley to me, like Mark, his art to me was that was my like when I close my eyes and someone says picture Spider-Man, I'm picturing Mark Begley's art.
That
Like
much thinner, wiry, younger
yeah, younger,
feeling.
but these big eyes and like the curve of the side panel nose, and it was great. I don't know. I just that's just he's my
And he had
guy.
Sal Buscema over on
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Oh, dude. Yeah, and I was buying his stuff too. Like it and again, I was just buying comics wherever. I was buying comic books from a farm equipment store in Saskatoon because they had bins of comics for like 25 cents. And that's how I got like that first run of Guardians of the Galaxy, which was not great, but I got them.
Hey, I
So
mean, any comics at that time, you'd at least read them.
you just yeah, and that's how I got like into X Factor, the Peter David stuff, because they were all there too. Just it was a wild time. But anyways, I went from there. That's where the collecting bug started.
So it was really
It
Toy
was
Biz.
Toy Biz that got me there. And then about again I did a video kind of on this on Toy Anxiety where I go through cartoonist kayfabe style, where I go through like Star Wars Collector Magazine and Star Wars Galaxy magazines before the THX ones came out and before Phantom Menace, and just kind of going through like, how did I know when to get into Star Wars? Because again, it's like start with one cigarette, Nelson, boom. It's like, because next thing you know, it's like I'm collecting comics, but now Star Wars is all of a sudden in the back of my brain, and the THX ones aren't announced. But I'm starting to I'm starting to notice they were themselves were planting these seeds, whether it was like Bendham's in the aisles, novels showing up, guidebooks showing up, just
Yeah,
all
I mean
this
that
like
Shadows of the Empire really was that
right.
was that was sending that canary into the
But
pop
even
culture
before
coal mine to see.
Shadows, right? Like even before Shadows, we were getting the like technical journal,
Yeah,
right? Like we
but
were
even then,
getting
you sort of had like the Thrawn novels were like
yes,
the ultimate test of
the
like, oh,
Thrawn novels. There
there's
was
still interest. There's still
right,
interest. People want to know about these characters.
yep,
This is still a viable franchise. That was the
correct,
first. That was the shot across the bow of, is this still a viable franchise that people will respond to?
right. So that's when I rented the Star Wars trilogy. Now as a young teenager. So now it's almost like rewatching it again for the first time with now an understanding of story and character. And then that was it. It was like, okay, now my life is comic and Star Wars, and it still is, and nothing. It's not turned back at all. Right? Absolute
And then the
disaster.
serendipity kicked in of like, oh, you like that? Oh, guess what? There's these Power of the Force figures that are coming out.
Right? THX editions came out, Power of the Force. Then, of course, then Shadows soon after. And then with Shadows, I was like, I bought the soundtrack, I bought the novel, I bought the toys, I bought like everything Shadows. That's still my canon. I don't care what Lucasfilm and Disney tells me. That's my canon. But yeah, it's funny enough. That's none of the Shadow stuff is in my top 5, but it's got a very it does get a special shout
Is there
out
an
because it was a
honorary
very
mention of
it's
the
an
Shadow
honorary
stuff?
mention for sure because it's like it
But
was such a
which
fun
figure?
time.
Which figure would be the one that is, if you were to pick one that represents for you?
Okay. It is Bounty Hunter Chewbacca with the crew cut because it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And it's and also is it Shizor? Is that how we all
Yeah.
pronounce it? Yeah. Right. And it was cool to see a new villain and some new characters just pop up. Dash Rengar to me was just always kind of like, did we need him? Could Lando just not fill this spot? It's kind of how
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
felt a little bit, but sure, why not?
Yeah. He's a real Hanabi.
Great term. Great term. uh he's definitely like I don't hate him, but he's just kind of like,
He's there.
you
He's a
know,
placeholder. He feels like a placeholder.
he feels like a placeholder. And I love
And
all
then
the
he
stuff
went
with
away like placeholders generally
like
do.
placeholders do. But I mean, they had all those like beautiful Hildebrandt painted cards for Shadows. Like there was just a lot of cool
You might
stuff.
know a little because I wasn't like my memory of the expanded universe is spotty at best, even though I
Nope.
read most of those novels. In the comics or anything past Shadows, I don't remember them ever using Dash Rendar. Did he ever come back in any? So no one
I
wanted to use him. So he was
nobody, yeah,
available, and just no one cared. And in this sort of Wild West, anything goes expanded universe era of we don't care, none of it matters. So do what you want, play. No one was
yeah.
like, I'm going to do the Great Dash Rendar comic book series.
No one did. And here's what's kind of funny too is that you could have, if with the right person that was ambitious enough and had the drive to do it, they could have had him be more than a placeholder. I mean, it's easy
Yeah,
enough, right?
but the
Because
fact that no one was sparked, no one
yeah,
cared.
no one
He
was sparked.
never
Nope.
came back, and now everyone, that figure announcement, everyone's so excited they're going to get that Dash
Yeah.
Rendar figure, but no one cared in all those years. No one.
Jackson the Rabbit has more lore than Dash
In the
Rengar.
30th anniversary run,
Yeah.
Shadows got no representation in that.
Yeah. Nothing. Not a
When
damn
when you
thing.
had all kinds of publishing stuff that made
And
its
even
way.
and even when they did those comic book 2-packs, it was still Shizor and Princess Leia.
Yeah, it was never Dash Rendar.
Never, yeah, never him. But yeah, I guess that would be my first. That's my first shout out. Let's hang on. Let's stick to the '90s then. I'll do my first.
We're gonna do it. This is your number 5 choice. You're
This is my
ranking your
number 5 choice.
choices. So we're gonna build to number 1 before we get into it.
That's right.
Because this is always a fun question. Is your number 1 without a doubt, far and away, gonna be your number 1 choice? Is there
Oh
is there
yeah,
any doubt in your mind what your number 1 choice is?
it's well again when you are men like us who have an array of things and you love
This is gonna
something
get sad fast, but keep
passionately.
going.
Yeah. Yeah, right. But you get very passionate about something as well. It sometimes can be very difficult because you can have like 10 number ones.
Yeah.
But then I
And
just
remember,
said,
and
you know
this
what?
is only ranking for the moment. This is
This is
only
yeah,
ranking. Yeah, this is in this
correct.
moment in our
That's
conversation is where this ranking is valid.
correct. So
But in
that's
this
where we'll
moment,
go.
that number 1 is going to be like it's not even in play.
Right.
Okay.
So this is I had to get one of these because the actual toy is at my parents' place still. I've been trying to finish this set as well. So this is just going to fall into it. But it was the Darth Vader head that I love the most. But I love these micro machine fold open play sets. These were so much fun. I actually wish Hasbro would bring these back, or at least let Micro Galaxy Squadron do them, or something. They're just fun. They're fun. I don't
I
know
lo-
how else to put it.
I love that if you just want a display piece of a character head, it
That's it.
works as that. If you want it to be a storage container so you don't lose all the little bits, it works as that. If you want it to be a
Yeah.
playset, it works as that.
Or
That
even if you want to
child
fold it
depicted
open.
on the artwork is terrifying me.
Yeah.
That is not
Right?
is that an airbrushed photo or
I
is that
think
straight
so.
up artwork?
It could I think it's an airbrushed
Because it
photo. It has
is
to be.
disturbingly smooth and
Yeah.
very saturated.
Hey, I see a lot of filters like this on my Instagram, so whatever. It's and you can fold these open if you just want to have a diorama that's there as well. Like it's got, and they did a whole
And
like I
you've
said,
done effects work. That eye line is super specific.
very yeah. Trust me, they took a photo and they just pretty much went over top of it. But I love these, even these ones here too, where it's just you know it's just a environment, right? There's no fold open, no nothing. Great stuff. I love the micro machine stuff. I don't know if you were into the micro machines or even I like to say the applause section of Star Wars or figures.
I really like the one and done aspect of a lot of the Micro Machines releases when they were boxed like that. Like it's
Yeah.
you like a Jabba's palace sort of thing. Here's your Jabba's palace.
Yep.
The only one that I've retained to this day, and it's still in its box, was the out of the blue Indiana Jones set that they did.
Wow. Okay. I don't know anyone who owns that.
Well,
You
now
are
you
now the
do.
only one. Yep. You are the one. That is amazing. I
and
love
it
that you own
and it
that.
is and I don't think I ever opened it. I think I loved it in the box
Yep.
because everything you can see it. It's got a little window
Right.
display. You can see everything that's there.
Yeah. That's yeah, I think that's just, and the artwork, that's just everything about these things I think are so much fun.
Except
Micro
for that
size is
child.
always fun,
Except for
except for
that
that
child.
child. Except for the child. But I mean, like, even the Chewbacca art on it too is just like, it's just, it looks like a Sears photo, right? Him just off to the distance, and
It looks like a student
there's the
painting.
playset.
Like
That's,
a
yeah.
really good, a really well
Yeah.
done student painting, but it
Yeah,
does look.
you're right. You're right. But again, like I said,
I
like,
love
I love
Chewbacca so much, so I made this art.
these are, yeah, I would love if Hasbro was able to do these again, because I would love to get a Mando head that opens, a Kylo Ren helmet that opens.
So here's my thought: has anyone done this yet? We've seen it some permutations of this, but I would love to see a comprehensive art book and lithograph release of some of these packaging art. Like, look at that package. Look at that Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Would you not have a beautifully matted and framed version of that
The,
original artwork hanging on your wall?
I would, but I would still want the Vader one. I think the Vader one, because it's
But still,
so good.
wouldn't that be like where is that?
Yeah, I've always, I guess
Have we
someone's holding
gotten
on
the
to it.
Star Wars packaging art? I know, like, Masters of the Universe got their
Yep.
art book. Transformers got one of their packaging art,
GI Joe.
but we've never seen one for the Star Wars packaging art, right?
Do you think it's because there's not too many licensees?
But I wonder in that agreement if that's something that all that art would have been retained
By
by
Lucasfilm.
Lucasfilm. I can't imagine them not having that
Hmm.
be the case.
Maybe we just need to pitch it.
Well, I think we just did.
I think we just did.
Well,
Someone at Lucasfilm.
let's get this. Now's the perfect time to make a book project and look for funding for things.
Dude, I would love that. No, and now is the time. Yeah, right. When no, oh God, yeah, no, that is not. No, I
Shout out
just
to
realized
Pixel Dan, and I hope it funds and his Ninja Turtle book happens. But I look at I mean, there are things I would love to do, but you just look at the state of things, and it is a difficult hill to climb now.
it is. It is,
It
and
was
we're
it
seeing it
was always a difficult hill to climb,
right.
but
But
now it
you're
just
seeing
seems
it with
ridiculous.
crowdfunds across the board, like not just HasLabs treading slowly. It's across the board. It can't be easy. And also, props to Pixel Dan for going totally independent on this one.
I mean,
And
we share the same publisher.
yeah,
Uh, so we both work with, and Dark Horse was great, but
right.
you certainly know that feeling where you're like, oh, well, there were compromises made just because of
XYZ,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
and anything that had to be, and no faults on anyone all around, but yeah, to be able to make your own decisions, and know going forward that it's going to be the book that you want to do
Mm-hmm.
to the best of your ability.
Yeah, it's so, but props to him, because that book does look gorgeous. Like, looking at some of the pages that he's been sharing, like he came on Toy Anxiety, showed us some, shout out to, my friends at Toy Anxiety, and, Geek Dad Life, and, Dan Larson was on Secret Galaxy over the weekend as well, at the time of this recording. And,
And I'm
it's
sure
just
many more to come.
many more. That man's a machine. So, props to him. I do want to, you know what? This will actually sink us right into number 4, because we're talking about books. We're talking about
Okay, so the
publishing.
Micro Machine sets was your number 5.
It was number 5. We're going to go just slink right into number 4, just because we are talking about books. And, I got to meet Jen Fujikawa back at Celebration Anaheim, because I'm friends with Troy Benjamin. They work together on a lot of, like, they do a lot of behind the scenes stuff for Celebration, such as the Star Wars Celebration live stage. So they're in charge, like they run that. They do a lot of stuff together,
No
whether
small
they're film,
feat.
no small feat. Plus, they do so much for the social media accounts over there as well. So if you see a reel where someone is interviewing one of the stars on the red carpet, that's her. If you see anything on Star Wars.com or on their web or on any of their social media where you see somebody making a dish based on something that you saw on the show, that's her, right? So she runs like the social media stuff. I can't imagine how insane her job is.
She has a standing invitation to be on this show.
I'll text her after this. I'll be like, I had the best time. You have to do it. But I just want to give a shout out to like her book. So I'm putting this as number 4.
It's a beautiful book. I have they have the deluxe edition of it that comes with the apron.
Right. So I was able to pick this one up at San Diego Comic-Con this year because I always wanted to buy one of her books when she's signing a book. And she's been so absolutely generous with her time with me. After we met, like she gave me a tour of the Lucasfilm offices in Burbank and as well as the Disney studio. And, it was just like, which was like so nice. And she's such a lovely person. She's so
and
nice.
Does amazing work. I mean, the cookbooks, for not just Star Wars as a property, but the Marvel ones that she's done, they're all just incredible.
The Parks and Rec, The Princess Bride, Ghostbusters, like and she does, they're so fun. They're super cute.
Just Jen recipes on Instagram.
That's it. There it is. Just Jen recipes. She is great, wonderful. She has signed this one for me as well. 2 N's, very important. So that one always gets me.
I know her work well.
Right. So it's just like, and you know what? I'll give an honorable mention also. I know Kevin did the same thing. Got to give shout outs to Paul. He's also been super generous. It's like you get something Carson Teva, he's already ready with his pen and ready to go. And
and they're like, sir, you need to buy that first. You can't just be signing things in our store.
No, I've never heard a store stop him yet. But it's
because they've never caught him.
Yeah, that's right. And and also at the time of this recording too, now all those Carson Teva TVC figures are coming out. And I'm so excited and so happy for him. And if mine already showed up by this time of this recording, this probably also would have been on my list because it's just how exciting is it to see your friends get their first action figure?
It's a weird thing, and that's part of why I feel bad about the way timing and the amount of material that's being released has short-circuited what the figure releases used to be as far as full waves and full promotion of a movie coming out and availability, because part of the joy and uniqueness and fun of being part of those projects had to have been for a lot of these folks of I'm going to be an action figure. That's such a big cultural touchstone.
Yes.
And to not get that because of the circumstances of the amount of material being released and whatever the schedules are and it didn't work out or whatever, and not to get that just seems like a huge disappointment and loss for these folks that are part of these projects and should have that joy of marking that unique place that Star Wars has, or any of these properties that get toy lines,
right?
To know I'm a figure. When you have some toy lines that are like, well, female figures don't sell, so we're not going to put them out. And it's like, they do sell.
Yeah.
Also, put them out. Don't do that to people. Don't.
Right. Well, here's the other thing too that I've like. It's funny you say that. Like, I really hope there is nobody still out there looking at Star Wars and going, the female figures don't sell, especially when you see the amount of women who make Star Wars content right now. And I feel like they're even doing it the best because they're going out there and they're just like, I'm enjoying this. Check out my fit. Check out my collection. Look at all my Jar Jar Binks merch.
Also,
right?
Let's stop gatekeeping fandom.
Let's stop. Yeah.
Like there's some kind of threshold for, oh, well, you're a serious fan if you reach this level. It's not a game.
So weird.
The gamification of fandom. It's like, no,
right?
just.
But I feel that comes from
if someone goes, I just saw the movies and I like them. You know what? You're a fan. You're a super fan. That's it.
I tried to explain that to friends before where it's just like, it doesn't matter where you could just say, I've never seen Star Wars, but I have the art of episode 1 and I love
Yeah.
it.
Or I
Guess what?
own a Darth Vader. Or I own an Ewok or I own that fuzzy teddy bear because
Yeah.
he looked cool.
Or you don't own anything and you just say, you know what? I really enjoyed Star Wars. Guess what? You're a fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's
No,
it.
there's not, I'm not looking for a spreadsheet.
Right?
Yeah. This isn't a credit check. This isn't,
yeah.
I'm not
And
looking
what's
for.
funny is no one's throwing trivia my direction. So why are you throwing it at hers? Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
just,
Or
there's
anybody's
so frustrating.
baseline. Just, yeah. Yeah.
It's
No,
so
this,
frustrating. But I am going to say the women are making some of the best, most enjoyable, and most fun content right now. I'll shout out to
yeah.
Pixelated Erica. She's definitely one of the Ray side, another one. Great stuff, super fun.
We'll have to talk about later about people that I need to have on the show because it has been a challenge to find folks to be on the show because a lot of these nerd spaces look very much like us.
That's true. Yeah.
And particularly the ones who want to be front facing because of the ridiculous and awful blowback that they get when they raise their heads above and try and be part of the spaces that they belong in.
But that's why I think spaces like this need to exist, and we need to help kind of create it, give them the platform. Maybe it's times like, because again, on DL44, we've been talking about the same thing about like, we should have some of these content creators on or influencers or whatever you want to call them, just have them on and just sit back and give them their space and they can,
just everyone in the room hanging out.
That's it. We're just talking about the shit we love.
Yeah, it's not even about like propping a door open or leaving a door. Take the door off the hinges. Just there should be no door there.
I agree 100%. Like, I totally agree with that. I don't know. It's such a weird thing to me that anyone would even go there because it's so. I think that also was a shock to me when I got older that was happening. Because again, the only person I read comics with was my friend Jasmine. So as far as I was concerned, everybody was reading comics.
Yeah.
Right.
It's when you when you start to get a wider sense of, and you see the ones who do push back and are just angry all the time and
and what's
why?
there to be?
Why?
What's there to be angry about? We're living in like the golden age
and it's
of
so
like
much fun to talk with people about the things you like. Why are you keeping that people out of a conversation?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to talk about number 3 because it's something that I really like.
Okay, so now we're at the middle of your list.
We're at the middle of my list. This is so I had to buy a new one because the one that I had as a kid did not last. It was one of the few figures that I had as a kid. And it's one I remember specifically getting because those cousins I talked about how I generate, they're the ones that had all the toys.
Right.
So if I wanted to play Star Wars toys, I had to go to their house to play
Star Wars. Have they already moved on from them? And they
haven't moved. No, they haven't moved on from them yet. And I was pretty young. And I remember getting this. They gave it to me for Christmas. We were all at my grandma's house and at their farm at that time. And I remember getting it and being so excited because I couldn't believe I now own this character for myself. And it was the biggest of deals. And it is
Wicked.
Right? Like I said, Ewok generation. Generation.
Hold on.
You got yours too?
Yeah.
Such a great figure. I don't care what anyone says. He's great. He's cute. He's fun.
I mean, the Kenner line by Return of the Jedi. These are practically sculpt wise. These are practically modern figures.
Yeah, right. It's so true.
Right?
The details on the hood.
In fact, I would say there was regression that happened in Power of the Force 2 until that stabilized a bit.
Do you ever go back and read the old magazines from the 90s?
I have not gone back and read them.
So I did because I decided I'm going to do a flip through of these.
Right.
And when they're talking to Kenner, I don't know if Hasbro owned Kenner by that time, but regardless, they're talking to.
I think they had just purchased.
Right. So regardless, they're still referring to them as Kenner and they're talking to them.
Well, they had to have because they had to make the new deal with Lucasfilm because the payments were lapsed.
Right.
Yeah.
Bingo. But they're talking about how proud they were of these plastic capes on Darth Vader and Princess Leia. And it was just like how, the sculpting is just like, and it's like, as the technology and the skills have gone up so high and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, you reading back on it, I remember just being like, I totally fell for it. But it was exciting and it was
But
fun.
but
But you're right.
if you're going sculpting with the idea of exaggeration, then yeah,
Right.
okay, fine. As
Right.
far
And
as if
this,
you're going sculpt them to fidelity to the actual characters themselves,
right.
no. So I mean, there's on whatever scale you're going to measure it on, sure, they were amazing sculpts. If you're
Right.
looking at hyper stylized,
If you're trying to compete with Toy Biz, if you're trying to compete with Batman, if you're trying to even compete with Spawn,
I
right?
know. I mean, what
I mean,
line really was pushing them in that direction? Was it the direction like the GI Joe line was going at that time?
yeah, I think GI Joe was, but
Because Toy
I
Biz
still
was
think
not hyper stylized in
no,
that
but
way.
I still think Spawn was a very big drive of the sculpted capes, the larger than life. I think Todd totally flipped the toy industry on its side, and they didn't.
But
The
Todd
other
was
toy,
never hyper musculature, though, in the way that
no,
Power of the Force 2
no, no,
went.
no, no. I still
So
think there's like
that's the weird sort of not even He-Manization. Like that's the where that came from. I would love to know what the first line was that leaned into with human characters. That sort of super buff, ridiculous
yeah,
look.
I would have to say yeah, GI Joe Extreme.
Would they have been like
Pow-
because that was a
that would have
92
been yeah, right before Power of the Force, I think.
when that started getting weird for human characters. Because
Correct.
I
Yeah.
would take like Ninja Turtles out of the discussion of that because that was just a stylized line and they were
Yeah,
not humanoid characters for the most
right.
part.
Right. And even Casey Jones in that line stylized just matched the rest. He didn't feel out of
Yeah, and
place.
Shredder had a back problem.
Basher had a back problem. Uh maybe like Legends of Batman at that point, maybe something like that, because those were like very exaggerated.
Right.
Right. So
And
like
that Legends would have been back in Kenner Hasbro at that time,
Kenner
right?
has, yep, correct. So
So
maybe
was that just
already,
becoming a house style? Because you had they obviously would have been the extreme GI Joe stuff.
right, yep, which also would have been the same house. So it's like
So
maybe
were they
that's
the
just where,
driving force? Like then I want to know. Okay, so who was the designer that ties all these? Who created the house style of the super buff at Hasbro? Surely it must be someone
Yeah.
who can answer this question
I'm like,
out
we
there.
gotta, oh, man.
And why has no one asked this before? I want to know who
Yeah.
was the
Like what
one who
now? Because I
drove
was
it.
like, who might know? Like maybe
Because every
Jesse
time you hear
Falcon
about
would
the
know.
discussions and we talk about it, it's this weird sort of circular discussion of, well, this was just reflecting something at the time and the style. Well, what style? Who was doing this that drove
Right.
this? And if it's
And
an
are they
internal
also,
Hasbro thing, who was the one who suddenly woke up one day and went, super buff, super
were they
extreme,
also looking at the comics though? Like, were they looking at Silvestri and Jim
and
Lee and
Liefeld
Liefeld and, just
and like
being
this is
like,
the direction it's going in. And
let's make them look like they're from Image Comics.
I mean, certainly
Like,
you can see that. You look at there's no way that Dash Rendar's design was not informed by Liefeld
oh, he's
and
got
what
cable
was
shoulder
going on.
pads,
Yeah.
right? Like definitely like, but even the Star Wars comics at that time too, the women started getting six packs and no waist, and the dudes were getting jacked, and like, and then all of a sudden, then they'd be next to legacy characters that just looked like regular people. So it was always, even the comics and Dark Horse at that time weren't really
Yeah, because they weren't going
balanced,
to go too far out of field with like the aliens either. So
right?
then you had like a basic body shape alien next to a hyper stylized Han Solo or
Right.
yeah,
And I'm also wondering too, did they look at that original poster with Buff Luke and be like, we can do that because it matches
but
this
extreme.
yeah, like maybe like, gosh, we need to find these people and talk to them. Like,
That's
this
it.
is the
This is
stuff
it.
I need to know.
This is what
Like,
we need to
right.
do.
So
This is what we're focusing on next.
yes, it is absolutely. Yeah. I gotta know. But I
But
mean
the
that.
Wicket, yeah, I mean, this Wicket is. I remember getting this when it first came out. I mean, this isn't the
Yep.
one I got, but I remember getting this as a kid, and just how fun all the Ewoks were to get
All of them,
at that
because
time.
after getting this one, I got, I think for my birthday I got Paplu and Lumat.
I remember finding Paplu on the floor of the commissary on Quantico when we lived there, and that was my Paplu. That some other kid had lost their Paplu. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
devastating.
I was
But he found a good home.
I that's how I got my my face shield battle helmet Cobra Commander was found in the
Oh,
woods, buried under leaves, and its face was all scratched up, so I used a silver crayon to fix it.
nice. Bet you that probably turned out better than the toy.
Yeah, well, certainly lasted longer.
Yeah.
It was not as good as you saw in the discussion with Alex, my attempted repair on Han
Oh
Solo.
my god, the Han Solo repair is so gruesome. It is like a what is that? Night terror demon?
Yeah, yeah, it was
That's
the
what,
Event
yeah.
Horizon, the Event Horizon Han Solo.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm so, that story is amazing. Because I heard you tell, I believe, because he told it on Toy Geeks as well with Dan Larson and Geek
Yeah,
Dad Jay, and then bring it back, and I'm just like, God, I love this story.
and I still
It's
haven't reclaimed it. It's still sitting up in Pennsylvania. I still
yeah,
need to
you have to
find
go.
a way. It's nice that it exists. I know
Yes,
it exists.
absolutely. We could, you know what? This will go in next. This will go in right next to the number 2 already on my list. When we think about, cherished memories and things that have lost and things that are no longer with us, I'm not talking about like people or anything, but I'm talking about rides. Uh, it had to go on the list. I think this is one of the most incredible things that Disney parks made, and I know it's a D23 exclusive, and I'm happy for anyone who got one, including myself. I was lucky enough to have a friend that went to D23. Shout out to Steve 3 once again for grabbing me one of these because I really wanted one. I'm not picking up the whole damn toy, but this is the exclusive Rex that came with it. This is the loose one. They were nice enough to come with a carded one as
It
well,
was so
something I wish
nice.
Hasbro would do. And it's funny because I brought it up. I don't know if you saw, I did a video with Kevin and we were
Then
on
I
the San Diego
definitely didn't
Comic
watch
Con
it.
floor. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, right. That's funny. And I asked straight up, like, hey, D23 came out with the Star Speeder. It is beautiful. You kind of see them kind of go like a little bit, like, oh god, they're bringing up the Star Speeder,
Yeah, we haven't heard
bastards,
this before.
right? But I was like, I'm not comparing it to the Star Speeder itself, but saying it came with one loose Rex, one carded Rex. Oh, something's happening downtown. My apologies for the sirens,
No
if
worries.
they're showing up. But anyways, the I digest. And I asked, like, hey, are you guys ever considered doing one carded one loose one? And they said, well, we're doing that with the pilots. And I went, oh, they're like, one of them is carded, one of them is loose. And I was like, no, no,
And
no,
it
no,
takes two
no.
pilots. It's
It takes 2 pilots. You still got to open one. Right. And I said it like right there. And it was kind of like, well, that's my side. I'm going to do my what you need for the Battle of Geonosis. And I was like, if this funds, here are some pilots they've released that if you need someone to fill that spot
the
and you
the
don't want to open it.
the only thing I can think of, and I wish they would clarify it because it would make people so much happier. Because they have said that some of the things that are released, carded with these may see another release down the road, but the card backs are going to be exclusive to the HasLab.
Right.
Just make it so, yes, eventually there may be like a pilot set or another clone builder set where you'll be
A
able to get
Tonica set?
this. Yeah, there's something.
Right. I still hang on. I'll get into my. I'll put my tinfoil hat on about the Tonica sisters in a second. But I just want to finish gushing about this freaking toy.
Now, did
Did you
you
get
own the
one?
original? I do have the Star Speed. It was a long, difficult process, involved a lot of issues. After
But
my
you got it.
my friend who was at D23, who worked D23, who sent me a photo of the stacks and stacks, going, "Do you want one of these?" And I said, no, I'm going to try for the online order because the shipping on that from you would be ridiculous.
Right. Like, well, I figured it out. I figured it out.
Eventually, yeah, I did get one. So yes, I do.
But yeah,
And it is
my buddy
beautiful.
Brandon, he was nice enough to let me get it sent to his PO box across the border, so that helped astronomically with the shipping of
But it
this.
was
But
a
it
but it
was,
was a nightmare of stress too.
oh, I bet it was, because sometimes you're just like, God, please nothing happened to it on the way, you know. But again, this toy is amazing. I didn't get the other one, the smaller one of the Star Speeder, the brown one, 1000,
Yes, because
right?
it
It's
goes
prequel.
backwards because of the prequels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of prequels. So I didn't get that one. It was one of those ones where I was like, I remember when it was out and I was at the parks.
2011, right?
Yeah. And I remember being at the parks. They still had it at that point. This was at, gosh, Celebration Orlando had it, right? Because they still had them there at that Disney. And I was like, oh, it's too big. I don't know how I'm going to get it home. So I didn't get it. And I kind of kept thinking about it and being like, God dang, it's one of those things where it's like, I should have just got it. What was I thinking? But I didn't get it. So I never did own it. I'm okay with that. Then I got like the smaller Star Speeder 2000, that
Just to have something as a
right, just to have something. And then anytime I see like the smaller ones, Star Tours is fun. I love it.
right.
And
Did you
so in
have
that,
the original Rex release?
yes, so I have that as well.
Yeah.
So I've got like it's like this Rex, the original Star Tours Rex. I got like those multi packs that came out, so I was able to
Those I never
score
got. Those are
those.
the only things that I
Yeah,
would love to get.
those are the ones I scored. I was so happy to get those. And then because I was like, well, if I can't get the vehicle, I'll at least get the figure sets. And then so when that came out, it's the original one that goes with the original, one of the original 5 packs that has like Chewbacca, Reeves, Teak, and all
That
those
was
ones.
the guest,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
passenger
so,
set.
passenger set, right? And then I have the others. Like, and anyways, I digest. But it just them coming out with this, and then seeing everything that it does with the light up bass, the talking, the sounds, and then it playing the ride on a screen inside. It is one of those next level play sets, and it was cheaper than a HasLab, which was even more insane. And you got like
And
you got
and had a production number much less than a HasLab threshold.
had a production number, like I said, extra Rex,
And
an
granted, they knew they
R2D2,
were eventually going to reuse it for the 1000.
the
We all
1000.
knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
But still, for that initial run, and also for the 1000 to sell through when they announced that. So who
Yeah.
knows how many that was unit wise? It had to have
Right.
been around the same.
Bonkers, right? Like, so it was one of these things where it's like you never knew this could exist at this level, at this size, at this price point.
And also,
And
they
then
knew they could
they
not
knew.
have known when as soon as I saw it had a carded, it's like they've been watching. Somebody there went, you know
Yes.
what? Because they very easily could not have done it. It could have
Yep.
been treated like a play set, and it just comes with the figures. They didn't even have to do carded. They couldn't even. They could have just not even bothered to done that as a thing. But the
Right.
fact that they did it and went, we're going to give you carded, and we're going to give you an uncarded
And you know what? I feel it's one of these things that I'm just
and an
grateful for. And
R2.
many, yeah, and an R2. It's just one of these things that there'll be nights where it's just like a cool rainy night, and I'll just plug that thing in, have it on, like as like just ambiance in the living room, and it's just something that I love, and it just brings me so much joy. Uh, Especially when you plug it in for like you turn it on and you go, "Welcome aboard," and you just like, you're because it's the original ride, right? And I think that's the other
Sans the
thing that
music.
makes it
That's the only thing that's
right. No music,
but to have that ride film
that ride film in
in
there.
the remastered, very clean look
Yep.
is
And
a
just
huge
how
thing.
even the interior, how it lights up when the blast points go through, and like it's it is such a
And they
beautiful
didn't
toy.
have to do any of that.
Didn't have
Like
to
if
do
they had just straight up released a playset that was that scale with no electronics,
That's
Just
it.
a button to open and close the doors and maybe flip out the guns and one of a regular Rex and a regular R2 and that was it. No base, nothing. People
Nothing.
probably still would have paid the exact same price and been gaga over it
Don't
existing.
tell them that. Tell them, don't tell them that. That's
Oh, it's
terrible. Like,
true.
I wouldn't have. Right, but it is yeah, it is one of the most spectacular play sets
And
vehicles,
unexpected. Like
and
no one saw
yeah,
that coming.
no one did. And I it was so funny because like even when they went online, I was like, well, I should try to get one for someone who's going to need it. And then when you saw that, it was like, oh, it's not just, this isn't just Star Wars fans logging into shopdisney.com that day. This was Disney fans, and they are just as crazy as anyone
Oh,
else.
they will push you out of the way
Oh yeah,
and trample over you to
get a popcorn bucket,
yeah.
right? Like they, like it's wild. Like when you think about what Disney brand stands
Popcorn bucket.
for,
I've
and
seen them do it for
like
magnets.
for magnets, yeah, right, dude. It's for like for real. Like it's bonkers, right?
Yeah.
I've
God
seen
forbid
rope
there's a
drop.
limited edition pin.
Dude, for like, dude, right? It's bonkers. And I mean, like Star Wars fans are sometimes no better. I'll tell you what happened at the first day of Star
No,
Wars Celebration
but we're all
Japan.
doing digital online ordering and
Right. So now it's like you get on there, and all of a sudden it's like you are number 5,348 in line, and it's just like, how is this possible? And
I
you
will say
realize,
of all of the online queuing systems, I think Disney is the only one that has, as maddening as it may be, that has
right?
what seems like a functioning queue system to where once you're in that queue,
You know where you
the
stand.
fact you can just
Yeah.
walk away and know that you're sitting there, you're fine. It's going to work. You may not get the thing you want because who knows, number wise, but
Mm-hmm.
you're logged in. It's not going to
Right.
crash. It's not going to pulse you out.
It's not, yeah, totally. And it's like, and the you, and again, we didn't know how many were going to be left on sale for the website, right? Because again, comes down to me what I was talking about earlier about being an exclusive, right? When it's an exclusive, there's a rarity to it.
Right.
That's what exclusives are. Like, and I know people hate the word exclusive, and I know now definitely with like Hasbro Pulse like selling it on their website later. Now you've got the case of the fandom of whether it's Marvel Legends or Star Wars or whoever being like, well, I should be able to get this even though it's an exclusive. And it's like, dude, or they're just like, I shouldn't have to pay $50 to be a member of Pulse in order to get this exclusive. And I'm like, some of us paid for a flight, a hotel room, and a San Diego Comic-Con pass to go in and get those exclusives. You are
But
not entitled to them just because you are a fan.
no, no one's
Right.
entitled to any of this.
Right.
Let's just be sure.
Whether,
And they're also
even if it's
toys, but
exclusive.
I
Yes, and
I
they're also toys.
I will say that if there is a demand,
Mm-hmm.
then make every means possible for people to get the thing.
Agreed.
I don't like that sort of pitting fans or someone is more privileged because the circumstances in their life worked out that you could be in
Right.
that place at that time. If that's a thing that it's able to make available, then make
Yes.
available to as many people. Like, and
Correct.
the idea of exclusives in this day and age is weird anyway. As
Yeah,
far
because it
as
doesn't. Nothing's truly exclusive anymore.
right, like if it's something that you could go back into production on, then
Yes,
go back into production on it. And
they always.
if it's a thing like there's a threshold of like, well, we can't do it unless there's guarantee, then put up a pre-order, and if it reaches the threshold, then it goes back into production. This is the same way, like if there's print, if you're going to bring something back into print, if the demand is there for a second printing,
Yes.
and if it's like if you don't want to upset the collectors, which people need to relax, then
Yes.
put a different color
Paint
on the
job,
packaging,
just like
whatever.
they did it with the Star Speeder, right? Let's change it. Let's make it. Let's put the Ahsoka section of the ride in here. Let's paint it brown. We'll call it Star Speeder 1000. We'll re-release it.
Right.
And then half the time with Black Series and Marvel Legends, convention exclusives anyway. They re-release them, but it may not have a lava splash. It
Right.
may not have Sauron,
But
or it might be a different
but
packaging.
honestly, I wouldn't care if they re-release the 3000. I
Same here.
because you know what? I want people to have that joy too. I want people to have it.
Agreed.
I don't want to
Same.
keep them from it. And the same thing for me with HasLabs.
Yep. I
If
feel the
and
exact
because
same
I missed out on
way.
the sail barge. I don't have a sail
Same
barge.
here.
I love
I
Jabba. I
don't
would
either.
love a sail barge. If you're able to bring the damn sail barge out again, do it. Put it in a different friggin' box. I don't care. Let it include all the stuff that maybe the yak face that isn't on the card. Fine.
Right.
You've released that figure separately. I can get that figure separately.
Right.
It's because the only thing you're protecting then is people's perception of it as an investment. And I think
Right.
that's the weird gatekeeping and the toxicity that enters into these fields when that's people's,
Mm-hmm.
like, if people were buying one and like, hey, they're hard to find, I'll sell, an extra $100 because you can't find them anymore. But people going, I'm
That's
going to put my
up
kid
to
through
them.
college because I bought a couple of sail barges. Why, if you're a company that has a relationship with your fans and this license, put it back out. There
I
shouldn't
agree.
be, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Star
Yep.
Wars toys until the line ended were always in production. The
Right.
packaging might change for, it now it's on in an Empire box rather than a New Hope box or Star Wars box. Or
Right.
now it's in the Return of the Jedi packaging, but you can still get a Millennium Falcon. You
Yep.
can
I can
still
still
get
get
these things.
Lobot.
Yeah.
I can still get a Jawa. Right. Like it
So
didn't matter.
yeah, these things
Yeah.
it was perpetual availability if the demand was there.
Yeah. I
So
do think I think if they did release a 1,000 again, or 2,000, sorry, 3,000, I'm sure it would go crazy. I'm pretty sure the barge would also do really well if they decided, hey, we're going to do a run and we're going to do a made to order run. They'd probably do really well. Maybe have less stuff like the Proton pack when they re-released it as the 84 pack. So it comes with a few less things.
or just straight up,
You know,
just change the packaging.
change the
Because
packaging. Yeah,
then you can still have something that denotes this was the original version.
right.
Or
That's it.
I don't care, but
You know,
that's
speaking of the
Mr. Stevie can like scratch a little X into the bottom of it, and that
yeah,
makes it that's the re-release.
yeah,
I
what
don't care.
uh one thing that the barge did that they never did again that makes me really bummed out
Was the making
is
of?
the making of book. I wish they would do that with every HasLab, not just Star Wars, all of them.
I think that's a function of the staff reductions that have happened over the years. That you simply don't have the staff to do that. I'm sure they would love to do that. And they're all overworked as it is right now with how much
Yeah, I
reduction.
bet.
So I think that was one of the
One of the first cuts
casualties, the many casualties of the staff reductions that have happened.
because
But
I
yeah,
just think that's so special.
I would love, and I think this is also a casualty of staff reduction, just updates. Just send an email. Say, hey, still going along. You want some additional pictures of it? We got this sample in, and
Yeah,
here's
because I loved it when they did that with the Razor Crest and they showed behind the scenes of the photography for the box. And it was like, oh man, you get just that little bit excited again that it's coming.
I think that's where some of the psychological burnout, or maybe not the same kind of engagement and excitement is coming from, as
Mm,
we've seen more and more of these happen,
right.
is that it is sort of out of sight, out of mind. But you're still like, is that thing still floating out there? And a new HasLab announcement when you haven't gotten the last one is just a reminder of what's going on with that. We
Yeah.
haven't heard anything. It's weird to make that investment when you haven't had anything keeping you hyped for the previous one, other than this nebulous, it's still out there. You paid for it.
Yeah.
You may not see it. You may die
Right.
before it arrives. Who knows?
You never, yeah. I think that's why they gave us that update at San Diego Comic Con of like, check out the packaging for the Cantina, which is shipping very, very soon. And here's a new HasLab. Like, it was just
Yeah.
like,
Well, we
I
still
think,
have an additional HasLab going on,
yeah,
and
I know it's rough, but hey,
and everyone and their brother also has massive HasLabs or massive crowdfunding going on at the same time.
Yeah, right. Like it's oh man, I when they overlap HasLabs, I always get like a little nervous for just everybody for whatever reason because there's collectors out there that want both,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
right?
and we know that there's periods of the year where there are no HasLabs going.
Right. So why isn't
You
this
know,
like balanced out just a
yeah.
little easier? Speaking of photos and toy photography, this is going to go into my number one slot.
Okay. And this was your far and away.
This is my far, yeah, this is because I've been having so much fun with it in the past year. And it's like it's a toy technically because it came out with Tiger Electronics in 1999, and it goes in line with like, and this is gets an honorable mention when they were coming out with the Super Soakers of the blasters, which was super fun during like they did it during Power of the Force and they did it again for Phantom Menace in 99. So if you've got, hey, if you want something that's con friendly and you go as Padme from the arena battle, get yourself one of these. And it shoots water. You just pump it up,
And,
just like
and you'll and you'll never get that coloration on one again.
you'll never again, right? So it is awesome. So this kind of goes in that same realm of like it's a toy, but it's a role play item. You can, but this one you can use. So I bought it specifically last year to be like, I'm taking this with me to Japan for Celebration Japan. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this with me to Star Wars night. Then I'm going to take this with me to a con when I go with Paul.
You take it to work,
And
don't you?
I work right here. So, yes, technically. This is a camera, and it is the micro binoculars that the battle droids used. And it is absolutely ridiculous. So, you take it, fold it open, you open it up, you'll see on the lens there's that white thing there in the front. You see the blue in there. That's so that you look through it, you see blue, don't whatever you don't want, don't put whatever you want in your photo in the blue because it'll superimpose one of the characters from episode 1 onto the film. And I was like, this is so
That is brilliant.
ridiculous that I need this. So you can see like these are the photos from conventions where it's just like we're out and about and these are how the photos turn out. And it is super fun to how it is just it's just hands down just one of my favorite things.
Now, how
And
many character options are on it?
like let's see, Darth Maul, Jar Jar, about 6 of them.
And how do you select which character is going to be?
So you have you have a dial right there in the middle,
Right.
and then there's a little like ticker over here that tells you which one it's going to be.
Got it.
Right? So you can do stuff like that. So we're
And this is standard 35 millimeter film.
just standard 35 mil. And that's what we do. And it's just like so I'll go around conventions and stuff and take photos with it. And it is honestly some of the most fun. I should see if I got any from Japan in this stack.
Do you have any full figure ones to make it look like they're actually integrated into the scene?
No. I do not.
VFX work. You do.
I know. Oh, I don't know if any one's from Japan, but it was like, but it was so much fun in Japan because like they have this one outdoor area and the photos turned out so clear. So you got these people in these beautiful costumes, and then there's Qui-Gon Jinn. It's like so
How many people have you accidentally cropped out of the film of the pictures?
This is the closest where I think it's like there's Steve 3 getting kind of overlapped by Anakin just a little bit, but it's like that's the waiter's fault. He's the one that took this poor waiter, this poor millennial waiter. Where do I look through? I mean, I look through this.
So here's my question for you. Could you buy a second one of these and hack the character selection in there?
Oh, I bet you could.
And with that in mind, who would you put in there?
Whew. Who would I put? Well, I
Because
would
how
put
many
Paul in.
characters are on the reel? How many different
So
different?
you've got six. You got about six in there. So like
Okay,
Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Padme, Anakin, Jar Jar Binks, Darth Maul, and then blank, so that you can have one
without any character in it.
without any characters. You can move the slide over, so it just takes like like normal photos.
And is the belief that these are slides
Yeah,
that
I
you're
guess so.
shooting through?
Yeah, and then
That
they
they're
just
just
like
35 millimeter slides that's a pass through on it? Or maybe
that has
printed
yeah they have a
on.
they do have a pass through. So here's it when you that's how Anakin showed up when I didn't realize that the white part wasn't up.
I kind of like the fact that you could put ghostly characters in it. I
So I
kind of
have
like that better than without the
yeah.
white masking.
So now I've got Ghost Anakin standing at the fountain in front of Lucasfilm in San Francisco. There, super fun. Like it's but it's like it's become one of like my favorite things because it's just anywhere you go with it, people are just like, "What is that?"
I mean,
Like,
now it seems like the fun way to hack of like, oh, Paul couldn't make it to this convention, but I'm going to put
yeah,
him in my camera and he's going to be inserted as in ghost form in all of our photos.
right. So it's like, yeah, I'd probably put Paul in there for sure. Right. I'm trying to think of who else I would put in there. Uh, like Pelimoto for sure, because she's just such a
You got to pick
character.
at least one droid.
Oh, it would probably be man, the one from uh Skeleton Crew, Nick Frost.
It's me,
What is it?
SM-33.
SM-33. Yeah,
Right.
right. So there's because him, I think he's such a cool design. Or maybe IG-11 would be fun.
I mean, going to your
Uh,
list, you're going to put Wicket on there?
Probably, yeah. Oh, there'll be an Ewok in there
Okay.
for sure. An Ewok may not necessarily be Wicket, but it will be an Ewok.
Who would you pick?
I would do.
Is
I
it
would do
Warrock?
something. I would do something dark where it's just like it superimposes the Ewok trying to wake up the other Ewok. Like do something really dark. Even though I love
Without the
Ewok,
mask, it's always going to be in the
right?
ghostly form.
Yeah, Jawas is another one I would put in there. Because that's fun. R2 would be good for another droid. Hera would be great. So if whenever I take a picture of Paul, I put it with Hera.
I mean, now I'm interested because they're obviously on a wheel, so you would assume that they're spinning they're probably on a circular wheel of rotating into
right,
frame.
right. So I
So
wonder if
you
you could
so you
actually
could
make the reel longer if you wanted to.
longer or be able to easily swap, like make it much so accessible to where you could
Oh, so just
bring a
clip
bunch of
in and
different
be
ones
like,
with you.
here's ones from Ahsoka, here's ones from
Yeah,
episode 2, here's ones from episode 3.
yeah.
Just do
Are they essentially like like a almost a ViewMaster reel like sort of
yeah,
device in
yeah,
there?
maybe.
You got to get another one of these and crack it open.
Oh, I guess I do. Because now I gotta see how and what do you need to use in
Hold
order
on.
to make it work?
Let's get Adam Savage on the line. We're gonna
We're
make this
gonna
a whole
make this
tested
happen.
thing.
Well, it's funny. He's in this photo. Adam Savage is in this
Well, I'll
photo.
be darned.
Yeah, right.
Has he
Like,
seen that
he
version of
know,
that photo?
I think he has. I am certain he has seen it. But it's always such a it's this like I said, this camera's a blast. When I took it to Japan,
Send it to me, and I will text and make sure he has seen
okay,
that photo.
I will make sure.
And
And then
he is well aware that we have project we need to work on.
yeah. And when I took this to Japan, like and I would take photos with it, it would draw a crowd. Because people would just what is
So
this?
are they confused? Do they think it's like the slide viewer, the Power of the Force 2 slide viewer?
They weren't. They understood it was a camera, but they were like, "Where did you get this camera?
They thought it might
And
be the
how old
custom
is this
thing that
camera?"
you.
Right. But then I show them what it all does, and they just get all like excited. And so they're taking photos of this, so they can go and try to find it. So, which I
Their
thought was like,
inception.
yeah, oh yeah, it was just like it was crazy. So like a lot of these guys with these big fancy cameras, and they're just like, oh, what is this? Like that's so cool. And so it was garnering a lot of attention for that. And then I found that a lot of people from the States or North America in general, they would just be like, "Oh, is that the slide viewer?" So I'd be holding it. And I'd be like, no, this is a camera. And then then you have to open it up again and explain. And that's one thing I was not prepared for, was how many times I had to explain what it was. But also I don't get tired of it because people get
Do you
very excited
carry
about it.
developed photos around with you so you can show them the examples of what it does?
So I have digital copies
So you pull up your
as
phone
well.
and
So
go,
I just
"Hey,"
pull up my phone and go, this is how they turn out. And then everyone's just, that is so wild. It is just like, right? I said, it's a filter before filters.
I think for the big anniversary celebration, you need to offer up a photo service of taking photos of folks with that thing.
I might have to. I'm super excited.
Once you get the customized wheels in there,
Yes. Yeah, I'll have to do it and be like, choose your era, right?
choose your
Choose your
fighter.
movie. Yeah, pretty much, right? Just have them all in a satchel, right? Ready to
Or
go.
go around collecting the actors, photos of the actors with their character on the wheel.
So like that, I know. I think that's my
Like
biggest.
Ahmed Best, you could do.
I know. I should have got one with Ahmed Best. I was too, because like they were getting so strict about like selfies and stuff like that at Celebration for whatever reason. Because like I got like Natasha Liu, right? Like it's like
I can
that
guarantee you
that
it's
was
because
fun.
of a certain company who took over the running of celebrations monetizing photo ops. So you're going to
That
crack down.
right. I think that's always the bonus thing about going to a convention with Paul, though, right? Because you see everybody outside of the convention,
Right.
right? That's one of those, you know, that's definitely one of those unexpected perks I didn't realize when traveling with him. Of like, you know, that's what happens.
Yeah. It just needs to
You
be
know,
earlier in the evening.
yeah, it just needs to be earlier, or just wherever, right? And it's just, but it was like, I think that's, it's this thing is just, it has brought me more joy than I ever expected when I found it.
Do you know
And,
anyone else who
and
has one or has gotten
my
one since you
buddy,
got it?
my buddy Brandon got one as soon as the day I found it at Toy Traders out in line. Like, so it was just sitting there hanging its package. And I was like, this is a camera. I'm going to Japan. I need a camera. Uh, and so that's when I got it. And then he saw me carrying it. He's like, I need that too. And then he went home that same day and ordered one off eBay.
So really
And
it's an augmented reality camera.
yeah,
I mean, it's an analog augmented reality camera.
more or less. Yeah. It's just like that. But yeah, it's again one of the most fun, unexpected items that I could have ever
Has the cost of developing those photos been more than what you paid for the camera?
actually come to think of it. Yes. I think after when you buy film and then get it developed, it costs more than this did. Yeah, 100%. But you know what? It's been worth every penny, and the photos have been so much fun. And when I take photos of friends and family and I give them an actual photo, uh, people get really excited about it because it's
No, and
just
the photos look great.
the photos are fun. They're nostalgic. Even people who weren't around, you got Zoomers that I work with, and they get a photo. They're just like, "This is so cool."
So
Right. And I was
it's
like,
so why did you not have one that you took of George at San Diego in his Hall H?
I was gone on Sunday. I didn't know. I didn't know. I had to be back to work on Monday. Sometimes it's the hand that was dealt
And
me.
who would you have picked on the wheel to be in the photo
Oh,
with George?
little Annie, 100%. 100% would have been little Annie. Uh, however, I felt okay. I have met George Lucas before, so I was okay. I used to work at before I worked at Sony ImageWorks. I worked at ILM Vancouver, and he came through with a tour and stuff like that. And the people there were very all like, "Don't go near him, don't go talk to him, don't go upstairs," all this kind of like they were getting. It was like really weird, and like
And you were
uh
having none of that.
well, it was here was the thing. Like they had us all come outside to take like a big like studio photo, like from the roof of like with George in the middle there and that kind of stuff. And it's just kind of like, oh, this is cool. So then I went to go talk to one of my buddies that works there. I'll give a shout out to Jared. And we're just talking, just normal, because it's just like George is over there talking to important people. So Jared and I are just gonna sit and chill. And Jared's kind of telling me, like, yeah, I've been the one giving him the tours and stuff. It's been great. And we're all kind of sitting. So him and I, he's just giving me like the 411 of like how cool of a day it's been and how nice he is. And just, he's just so chill. He's funny. And sure enough, who comes up right beside us while we're talking? George Lucas. Hi, so and so. I just like introduce myself, and we just kept talking like it was normal. And meanwhile, there's people higher ups that are just staring at me, like giving me stink eye of like, oh, how dare he? Who is this guy think he is?
This
It's
is
just like,
this is going in your file.
yeah, right, yeah, totally. It was totally that. And I'm like, what was I supposed? He walked up from behind me, right, while I'm talking to like, that's what am I supposed to do? Like put my head down and walk away? It's just like,
Yes,
come on.
yes, you're supposed to.
Yeah, I guess I was supposed to, but it was just like, also that was at the point too where I was like, you know what? I don't know if the studio's for me.
And how soon after that had you left?
I think that was like at the point where I was just like, okay,
You're done.
Like, it's when my contract's done, I'm done. This is it.
But you met
right?
George, so you got what you needed out of it.
I totally. So I did get to have that, even though like the conversation was very short. It was pretty much an introduction and just, hope you're
And then
enjoying.
you went out to Zabaro, and you had a lovely lunch.
Yeah. Right. So it's like I got a good memory out of it for sure. And I never in my life ever dreamed I would even get to stand beside the man, let alone,
And just a few short years later, you could have gone, hold on, I have a camera. If you could just.
I know. Could you imagine? Oh God, they probably would have fired me on the spot if I took a photo. Like, but you know what? Fuck them. I would have.
And then you find out that was like George's brainchild. I was like, oh, that's the camera that I told him to make. That one.
Yeah,
that's.
I actually thought that was a really good idea.
Yeah,
And
really,
I
really
approved
good.
this camera.
Really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Well, can I take a photo of you?
Yeah, you're right. Would have been hilarious. But yeah, it's yeah. So
you look like a Jar Jar to me.
Yeah. Thanks. I don't mind that. I think he holds up. So it's interesting times, needless to say. And it's everything worked. Me leaving there worked so much for the better.
I mean, we didn't even touch on all the incredible work. We could spend the next hour just talking about a film that everyone has talked about you worked on, Morbius.
Yes, it's Morbin time. That's right. I think that's the one where it's. I think because it's always trending, because people are always looking it up, so it shows up as like what I'm most known for on IMDb.
Is that what gives you the most IMDb heat? Is
that one, because it's like because people I guess are always looking at like, who the hell made this? Or something, I don't know. So there's always that one. I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 is another one that always pops up. And maybe Hunger Games, but never. And I know I'm probably trying to get to this, but it was Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
I wasn't trying to get to anything. I was
you were trying to get to anything?
Going to mention Morbius.
Yeah. Just more, and we'll leave it at that.
Do you?
We'll leave it at that.
Do you have a film that was for you was your favorite to work on?
It's funny because
and
like
also,
sometimes
just generically, what makes a film your favorite to work on or be a part of?
Oh, see, that's a easier question to answer in a way, because sometimes it's like sometimes a movie can be very difficult to work on, but somehow everything lined up in your favor, that it was like not only were you put with a very good, like a very fun, driven, talented team, just all the stars lined up, and you just every week I just knocked it out of the ballpark. And Into the Spider-Verse was that for me. That was such a dream, and like just absolutely pleasant to work on. And I know not every department and not every section of that movie had that experience, and I realize that, so I don't take it for granted, my experience. But also another fun movie to work on was Batman v Superman. It was almost kind of like we let go the moment I kind of realized like this movie's not going to be for me. I don't know who it's for, but I know it's not for me. But whoever this is for, I'm going to we're going to make sure that this is going to be the movie you've been waiting for. We're not
Right.
going to give anyone any excuses.
And that's
And
the thing that people, when viewing these that are made by hundreds, if not thousands, of talented folks behind
yep.
the scenes, that when you dismiss a thing, that there's a lot of work that went into it, and you can find different things to appreciate in a film you may not like.
Well, it's Snyder and DJ, who's his VFX guy. They were absolutely lovely people to work with, and it doesn't matter what I feel about their movies. At the end of the day, my experience with them is they are great, wonderful people. And I even got to pitch an Easter egg for Batman v Superman. Snyder said, "Yep, put it in." Right. So it's just like
And
at
what
that
was
time I
it?
was.
Can you say what it was?
I'll tell you what it was because it's now been a while. It's been years now. Uh,
It's been so
when
many years.
so when Batman and Superman they're fighting, and they're at one point they're in this room with all these pillars. The lightning hits and you see graffiti, and one of them is the Riddler's question mark. And I threw that in there, and I actually got to put it in there myself, which I
Have you
thought was
have you
pretty
seen
wild.
people identify that exists within it?
That was the first thing to go viral when the trailer dropped. And here's what was so fun. So after that happened, they would come to me for more ideas of like, what else should we put in the, what else can we sneak in there? And I said, well, there's lots we can put in there. I mean, it's Batman. He's got years of it. And I legit put it as graffiti, as my own little homage to the Arkham series, which I love playing. I love playing that Arkham trilogy video game series. So good. And that was kind of like my little homage to it. It was just like, I want to do that. It's simple. It fits in with this universe. It fits in with the aesthetic. Let's, I just threw it in there. They loved it. That was it. And then this is where I started to because when you're working on a movie and you see like movie news come out, whether it's on Twitter or wherever or IGN, they're just like, so and so is going to play this in this movie, and you're just like, and they announce it or they put it in a headline that's so matter of fact that of course people now, this is I think a huge reason why even
We're
today,
hearing.
yeah, like we're hearing this, people now print speculation and rumor like it's fact, and people just run with it, which is why I'm so
Right.
happy James Gunn always replies these people and is like, no,
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
And that's
Because
when I
then
remember,
people get disappointed by a thing that was never true.
never true.
Oh,
And
what happened to so and so was supposed to be in the movie? No, they were never in the movie and never supposed to be in the movie.
dude, so when that trailer dropped, Justin Timberlake in talks to play the Riddler in Ben Affleck's Batman movie. Really? Because this was just me having fun. And that's a lot of the case of what a lot of Easter eggs are at the end of the day. It's just like they're some, like in some cases, maybe they are meant to hint at something they hope to do down the line. But at the end of the day, a lot of these Easter eggs and stuff, they're just for fun. They're just to help. I wanted to just world build is really what it was. That, a Riddler does or did exist in this universe. This Batman legit likes to beat the snot out of people to brink of death. So who knows if he's still alive, but there's something there. That's all it really was. So, I mean, like that was really fun because I got to kind of be part of that. Spider-Verse, same deal. Like those movies are fun because I'm not in a position where I get to collaborate, but people listen. If I have an idea, the people will hear me out. I get to be kind of part of the sometimes brainstorming process, or people asking me, do you think this will go over? Do you think this looks cool? That kind of stuff. And, I get to,
Treating you as an expert in your field.
Right.
To contribute to the project.
Yeah. And I think, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, same deal. A lot of people just like, hey, what about this? What about this? To the point where Jason Reitman made sure that I got one of the crew shirts from on set for all the help. Right. So it was, got to be keeper of the lore. It's stuff like that where that's what makes a movie fun. Like, yeah, you can sit there and I can do scheduling and assign artists and deadlines and all that stuff all the time. But I mean, like now we've all gotten to that point in our jobs where even if you're production, you know, people can be part of it. It's not even just me, it's other people too. And it's just like, it's a, this job has become a lot of fun and really worthwhile. And I love it.
And the worst they can say is no. And then you move on to the
Worst,
next idea.
worst thing they could say is no. And I mean, it also comes down to knowing when to bring up, to ask questions
Yeah.
and knowing,
And also knowing the baseline of work you have to get done to allow, so they know that you're not, this isn't diverting you from
right,
doing the actual
right.
work that needs to
Yeah,
get done. It's like, no, I want to
yeah,
talk about this fun thing I want to do
right,
instead.
right. Or am I creating more work that's unnecessary?
Yeah.
Right. You gotta, there's a, and
So I
again,
had
too,
an
it's
idea
kind
to insert this whole character into every scene.
yeah. Yeah, though I do like to tell people that I made sure Thing had a beard in Fantastic Four to look like me. You know, I do
Well,
like
they
to.
turned down the full mustache though.
They turned it, yeah,
Yeah.
they toned it down, and I was like, okay, well, let's just put a beard.
Well, it's all about compromise.
That's right. Though that had nothing to do with me. That was completely already put in there. But I like to tell people it was me.
Well, now I want to see a mock-up of the Thing
Yeah.
with the rock stash.
With the rock stash, rocking a stash.
Yeah.
Is that,
No.
yeah. Womp womp.
I'm just pressing stop.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of that stuff is now, it's become so collaborative within the studio itself. And you just go to the right person and you go in with the right attitude. You don't go out in the middle of dailies and interrupt and be like, you know what I think they should do? Don't,
because you tried that and it didn't go over well.
No, I've heard the horror stories of other people doing that and it not going well.
I've sat through some awkward dailies viewings before.
Yeah.
And that can be a tense
Right.
time.
Yeah, well, it's just like, it's never the time or the place. People are there in dailies to get feedback, right? Like, and if it's not your place to give the feedback, don't, talk to there's always going to be someone that'll listen to you on the side and they will tell you yes or no.
Yeah. Whether it should be escalated up.
Yeah.
Or if now's the right time to escalate it up.
Right? You don't want to bring up ideas, your really fantastic ideas that'll improve the movie tenfold, to a soup that's not having the best of days.
My understanding is that a darkened theater daily session is the perfect time for blue sky collaboration.
Right. So it's always stuff like that.
Hey, I have an idea how to fix this movie.
Yeah. Right. So it's just like, the best thing I can always say to people, and I'm sure many people have been told this throughout their life, is learn from other people's mistakes, and just even outside of learning from your own.
Right.
And just be self-aware, and be aware of the environment you're in. And sometimes it's okay to just sit down and shut up and take notes. So, not every moment has to be yours. So it's, like I said, I love my job. I'm very happy where I work, and I'm very happy with the people I work with, who are super talented and they're super nice, and it's not a toxic environment. Everyone's there. Everyone understands that, you get more flies with honey, and that everyone's there for the same goal, which is to finish this movie. And it's your choice if you want to make it hard for everybody or hard for yourself.
So what was the movie that you worked on that you wish you could have been surprised by? That you wish you had seen it as an outsider instead of being within the process? You still loved it.
Any Marvel movie. Any Marvel movie. I did not need to see how that sausage gets made. Yeah, did not, right? Like, I haven't worked on very many, but the ones that I have definitely given me PTSD. So
after having worked with James Gunn on Guardians, or working on Guardians, is it now interesting to be on the outside of like Superman and see what he's doing outside of the Marvel?
I am jealous. I will say that, coming in with anytime you go into a movie and they have a very clear vision of what they want, the story they want to tell, it makes your job so much easier. There's always going to be changes. There's always going to be reshoots. That just comes with the territory of making anything. But when they still have a very clear vision of what they want, regardless of the changes, it makes your life so much easier.
You
When
saying
they
it's easier to make one film at a time than 17
then
that eventually has
17,
to be one?
correct, right? Because sometimes, like with Marvel movies, you actually don't know what movie you're going to see. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I mean, is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been well documented the
Yeah,
process on
you're
on
right.
yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Uh
proud of their process, so I'm just like, I guess
I
okay.
mean, for that process is the one you see is eventually the one you see, and we have a
Yeah,
process to get to the one you see.
yeah. There it
But
is.
you've seen it where, but that is a process that's in place to do that. You've seen it where I'm sure you go in and nobody has a clue. There's no process. It's
Yeah.
all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen a dozen different scripts
Yep.
with
Yeah.
wholly different plots that
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that.
you
But
don't have to,
yeah,
but
but
you've
yeah,
seen,
yeah, I've seen
but
it. I've
talking
seen
about the
it. Yeah.
process where there isn't a process that involves a whittling down, but it's a process that they've worked out, but it's just chaos.
Right.
You've seen chaos.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've survived it.
Right.
And you know what?
Because you're also on the end of the pipeline where that chaos has a very real impact on being able to deliver.
Correct. And it's not only that too, it's what everyone leans on, where it's just like, we don't know what we're doing, so we'll fix that in post.
Right.
Right. So it just they just keep throwing the weight on us to make the movie good. Even if for whatever
Does
reason.
it feel anytime like you're at the bottom of a hole and every time they say that another pile of dirt comes down on top of you?
Oh yeah, there's like yeah. That happens. That happens. But you know what? It's like I said, we got a strong team, a lot of people that want to help. I realize it's gotten very dark in my place very, very quick. Right? Because I've been using the sun as the light, and I was like, oh wait, there's no more sun. Everyone's been watching me through a potato.
We've gotten to the dark portion of the conversation.
Yeah, this is it. This is Ryan Doell after
It's
dark.
Morbin time.
It's Morbin time. That's right. So yeah, we'll just finish it up here. But yeah, no, I'm just you know, I've been through the ringer. I've survived it, and at the same time, it's like if you got a strong team and a team that's willing to help, and everyone works together, they can pile as much dirt as they want. You won't drown.
Right.
Right. So I think that's where I'm always super grateful with the people that I've gotten to work with.
But you would love if every production had like the equivalent of a swear jar, a we'll fix it in post jar, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And everything that's in it is shared with the VFX team at the
Oh
end.
my God. God, I could buy a house. Yeah.
Put this forward. This is part of the reforms for the industry.
Yeah.
Fix it in
I
post jar
know.
on every set.
Yeah, it's true. And the deadlines just get tighter and tighter as
You
well.
say
But
it,
I mean,
another dollar in the jar.
but you know what? It's fine. We're all fine here. No, it's yeah. But no, again, like I said, but no, I've been super grateful. And like, I think there's only been a couple movies where it's been just so bad where I can't even enjoy the movie. There's only been, I think, honestly, I think only one real instance where I'm just like, can't even look at that movie.
It's pure trauma.
But yeah, it's just pure trauma. But I mean, otherwise, after that, I mean, all of them, fun, happy to talk about them. Even Morbius.
So one day at a convention, we're going to sit down in a room and we're all going to have a private screening of the one that you can't watch.
Oh, good.
And you're just gonna, this will be your way of purging all those feelings. You're just gonna go to town on it with
Have
a
an
supportive
audience
group around you.
Yeah, an audience, a therapist, the movie, and we're just gonna. I'm just gonna vent through it,
I'm
and
gonna
that'll
call
be
it the
that.
Dull Bowl. It'll
Yeah,
be an
that's it.
event.
Yeah, we'll do it at the Hollywood Bowl. We'll fill it up.
Great.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
We'll have a live kazoo orchestra.
Nice. Yes, please. That'd be
So
awesome.
so the final thing before you go, and this is gonna be a rapid fire.
Okay.
Outside of Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
name, in no particular order for this, your 5 favorite toys. Any line, any franchise, 5 favorites.
Okay. First one is obviously I mentioned it earlier. Nightcrawler, Series
Classic
1,
Toy Biz
X-Men. Toy Biz. That is probably that is definitely up there. Not Star Wars. Let's keep going.
Also, can we convince Mondo to put a suction cup on the deluxe edition of their Nightcrawler?
Yes. Just hang on. Let me just take a quick look around. Oh, yeah. So there is the DC Direct Batman animated series line that came out. There is a Harley Quinn that was also an expression pack. I love that toy. It is one of those ones where I will pull out everything on a rainy day and I will just tinker around and play. It is one of that animated series alone had such a huge impact on me. Also, it raised my standard of what televised animation should be, which is completely unfair because that's not how real life works. But man, did it!
We're gonna have to talk about this on Gotham City tonight.
Yes, we will absolutely. Yeah, because Alex will want to talk about it too. I'm absolutely certain of it.
Also, we need a return of expression packs.
Oh, please! I told that to Alex as well. We need that.
He never listens.
Like he never. Yeah, Mondo never listens to me outside of Savage Land Rogue.
Yeah,
they never listen to me. My Ecto Glow set from Real Ghostbusters.
Oh, a new acquisition.
No, this is not a new acquisition.
This is your original.
I have the original 5 on card, sir.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Unlike Dan Larson, I stayed awake during your
that's right.
Your appearance.
That's right. Right. So it was like, so I have the original 5. That's what makes me Ecto Glow Elite. I've made a personality out of it, but I love Real Ghostbusters toys, and just being able to get those Holy Grails was such a monumental thing that it's like, it helped finish that collection and just made it feel like, okay, I'm now done with Real Ghostbusters. I'm good. So I have
and
those.
And then Mondo said, no, you're not.
Mondo said, yeah, screw you. You are not even close to
We're
done.
also doing Ecto Glows for our line too.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite toys, which is going to come off completely out of random. It is from one of the later lines of Ninja Turtles of the original wave from Playmates. It is Dirtbag, that mole. I think he was such a cool sculpt, and it was the last Ninja Turtle I bought, and I bought him with the collector mentality where I just thought he looked so cool that I was
but it was also a capper for the line. It was like, I'm done. I don't need.
Well, at that point, I was already pretty much done, but I was there looking for like X-Men and stuff, but also I just saw it and I was like, that's coming home with me. Like, that's just.
And you still have that version?
I still have it. Yep, still have it. He's just, because he just went on the shelf because he just looked so cool. So that's one of my favorite ones. And then I've got a Street Fighter figure of Ken that I bought the first time I went to Japan. And it was the first time I ever saw a toy that had multiple heads, multiple hands, attachments for the fist, a display stand that was also posable so you could have him do uppercuts and kicks.
Was this like a Figma release?
Yeah, but he's like this, like he's small. He's like 3.75.
Oh, really?
Scale. And he came with all this stuff, and I was just like, this is one of the most incredible toys. And at this point, Marvel Legends wasn't really doing that yet. Nothing was. It was the first thing I ever saw like it. Plus, I love Street Fighter a lot. So it was just like, and since then, it was just like, when I remember being in Japan, finding Ken, and I was like, I need to find Ryu and Chun-Li. But I never did when I was there. But I got the Ken still, and he's still on the shelf because he's just like.
Have you found them since then?
I haven't even looked. But it's okay. It's okay because
it still happen. It can still happen for you.
It could still happen. I think the only other things I saw like that I think maybe were the Soda, SOTA Street Fighter line figures, because they had multiple heads and multiple hands, but this one had like everything. The stand.
I mean, anyone watching right now who wants to fulfill a decades-long dream.
It's not so much a dream anymore just because there's so much that have come out, but it's just such a nice token to have because it's just like.
Have you checked to see if Paul has a couple of them?
Yeah. I don't think Street Fighter's his bag. I think that's a lane he doesn't go down. I
I don't
think
know. That might have been years ago. We don't know what
right.
in the has anyone excavated all the different layers of collecting over the
Man,
years?
well, I know, like, just when I think about his collection recently in the last couple of years, it's been, God, it's so dark in this room. I should see if I have a light. I'm just a silhouette. I just got the one above me. My apologies. It's like a very dim light bulb. This is my work
You
area.
stream all the time.
I know, and I wasn't even like, because I'm not paying attention because I'm watching you and watching the camera, so I'm not watching me. But yeah, I was just I'm like a witness protection program.
Yeah. Well, it was easy to not see you when you
Yeah.
you completely blacked out on the screen.
Right. And so, yeah, but I just, I love his collection because he gets like these really nice stuff from Alien and Aliens. He gets all this beautiful stuff from Star Trek. He gets all this stuff from Jaws.
It's interesting to see the things he collects because they're toys, and then the things he collects because they're props.
Because they're props. Yep.
And that there's a dividing line on some of the things.
Yep. 100%.
Like he'd get props, but he wouldn't get toys of it, or vice versa.
Yeah. 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 But it's cool. It's cool. His collection's always, because he wrote, well, I don't know how often he's going to be rotating it because I think he's finally got it to a place he wants it. But,
There's always new stuff, though. There's always
new stuff. Like you've watched his channel. He's got a new hot toy to open.
I know, but it takes him like 3 hours to open it.
It does. Well, you
got to thank everybody. You got to say hello to everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy. I love that. I give him shit for that tup, which is why he's speeding up.
I think it's a beautiful thing because
I think it's wonderful that he does it. I have to give him shit
because
he's my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And he deserves it.
He deserves it, right? And I just love how generous he is to everybody and giving him that time.
Yeah, and particularly in the period when his exposure has increased and people's awareness of him, he very easily could have shut down, turned it off, walked away, not wanted to deal with that.
Right.
That level. But the fact that he's still chill and enjoying it and out there because first and foremost, this is a thing he loves and wants to share it with people. It feels like a tribute to him. And
yeah, no, I know, but it's awesome. He's a jackass, but I love him to death, and it's
lovably. So.
Yeah, absolutely,
in the best possible way.
Hey, he has given me
glad he got his figure.
He's also given me opportunities I've never expected, never would have dreamed about as well. So it's just never. Like I said, he's super generous and lovely, and I can say all that because he's never going to watch this, and if he does, he won't get this far.
No. I mean, I could clip this out and send it to him, and he still wouldn't watch it.
He still wouldn't watch it. Yeah. It's like, it's so funny when we started this too. I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep this tight to an hour. No, it's been 3 hours.
Listen, you've seen the show. You know how this is. But thank you for being on the show. There was an excellent way to put a cap on it. We have gone far longer than we were going to. But you know what? It's about the conversation.
Yeah.
The thing that it's the bones of it, of doing it, just allows us, and I'm glad that I was able to have you on the show, and I hope you enjoyed being on the show.
Hey, if I didn't have a blast, we wouldn't be doing it this long.
Yeah, you had to turn on a light. We went that long.
Yeah, it got dark.
We lost the sun.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Even the sun
summer.
checked out from this conversation.
Yeah. They're like, dude, go to bed.
Go have some dinner. Something.
Yeah, do something.
So where should people find you? I've mentioned all the different shows that you are directly on.
Yeah, so I'm on Tuesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Pacific on Toy Anxiety. Myself and the crew from Yes Have Some podcast. We just for fun out of nowhere during COVID, we said, hey, let's just do a show about toys just to get past the time. And then the show took off. So I'm super grateful for that. And it's super fun. Then my friend Lexi was like, can you please do a show about Batman with me? And I was very reluctant. And then she talked me into it and I started doing it. And then she got like pregnant twice and then couldn't like do the show and had like kids to take care of. So then I got stuck with the show. And then Alex Brewer from Mondo joined, and now Alice, who I work with at Sony as well, she comes on every now and again, pops her head in there. Couldn't be more thankful for those two. They're absolutely amazing people. And then I wanted to talk about Star Wars because, as you can see, we pretty much stayed on topic of Star Wars for a majority of this thing. I could talk about Star Wars all the time, and I love it. So Kevin Wong from Toying Around and myself, we were like, well, we want to do Star Wars content. We don't have a place to put it. Let's just start a channel. We called it DL44 Network. And it's where our friends can just go on and put Star Wars content on. Right. So it's like our buddy Steve 3, he does his Micro Galaxy Squadron unboxings.
Excellent impression. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
He loves it. You should have saw we've had D. Bradley Baker do it. And then then myself and Trevor from NECA, he's head of the Ninja Turtles line. He's the art director for that. Him and I, we do a show called Unknown Regions, and we just deep dive down the rabbit hole that is Wikipedia and talk about all the different planets and the weird shit that it does. So we just do that for like an hour, and it's like 15 people will watch us, which is great. But that's all we do. We just
basically it's like all these things. It's you took what would be a phone call, and made it a show.
That's it. That's really all it is. And then we'll drop the occasional like podcast style show with like myself, Paul, Kevin, Steve, whoever's around, and we'll just talk about want to talk about the new Coca-Cola labels? Let's talk about it.
Did you find Orlando yet?
So I've got the only one I am missing is from the bottles is Ray. I don't like to drink a lot of soda, and so I got one thing of cans, and I was like, God, I hope it's Leia. But I got Darth Maul, which looks super slick on the red can. Looks really good. But my buddy Brandon, he got the Leia, so he's like, I saved you a Leia. And I was like, perfect.
And he's already pre-drunk the soda, so you don't have to worry about that?
I hope so. Right. If not, I'll just keep the can closed. It's fine. And then until 5 years when the acid eats through the can. But
I had that happen with a Duff energy drink, the Springfield land at Universal.
Wow.
And
makes you wonder what you're putting in your body, right?
It was on a shelf right over there. Yep. And the only reason I noticed is because I have the Hot Toys Batman and Robin 66 hanging in like their climbing poses from their ropes. And I was like, what's on the cape?
Oh no.
And it dripped down the cape. Thankfully, I don't know what Scotch Guard they put on that fabric, came out.
Perfect. Thank God.
And that is like the worst Dr. Pepper-ish, dark, caramel colored energy drink that by that point had, gooified by the time it was able to eat through.
Right.
And it came off, thankfully.
Thank God.
But could not find where the hole was. But it found a way. It found a way out. Malcolm was right.
Yep. So that's why it's like, empty cans is better. So I'll always have it like full for a little bit, just so I can have that closed can on the shelf kind of thing. But eventually it'll just get to a point where just crack it and drain it.
You're not drinking a 40-year-old Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah, I should hope not. No. Oh, I don't do that. No. My body's a temple.
You're not going to drink some Phantom Menace Pepsi cans?
Yeah. God, hang on. I know we're trying to end this goddamn thing, but I was saying, like, what would make people go absolute? Because I think you brought it up in one of your shows recently too. I think if Coca-Cola with the labels, if they put figures on the bottle caps again, I think people would go absolutely bonkers. There it is, your Jabba the Hutt. I think people would go absolutely bonkers.
I obviously we have that toes being dipped into that area with the movie theater souvenir cups.
Yep.
Having figural stuff on top of them. But yeah, give us figural Even if to partner, make it like a thing that's only available at Galaxy's Edge. Who cares?
Yep.
But
Yeah.
start having fun things like that. And for that matter, bubble bath bottles, shampoo bottles. Give us figural stuff on a whole bunch of different things. They used to have weird figural
Bring it
things.
bring it back. Yeah.
Look at how great the sculpts are on those the Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza Hut cups.
I still have I have the Padme one. The Queen Amidala one, I guess it would be.
That Watto is a great sculpt.
The what's his face? The Gungan General.
Tarful.
Tarful.
Tarful is the Wookiee.
Wookiee, right? But he looks fantastic.
Also, now I'm really curious about why they're named so similarly.
Yeah,
George.
George. I'll get him on the line.
Yeah, no, the sculpts on those things are the Maul looks great. Even the Anakin is a good representation of Anakin.
All of them look good, like much better than they should. You know what I mean? But it's they're
and not just Star Wars. Like, can you imagine Marvel cups like that?
Any of these franchises? Hell, give me a T-Rex
Except for
cup.
Morbius does not get.
Nah, come on. Yeah, it does. But but like even if they did like Jurassic Park with dinosaurs,
like kids would love dinosaur cups like that.
Yes, right. And I brought up Applause earlier because they used to do those sculpted cups too, and and they would do everything across the board from Looney Tunes to Star Wars to Marvel. They did it all. Would love to see any of that stuff come back.
So maybe that's it. Maybe do we just need to start the modern equivalent of Applause to do novelty cups like that?
Yeah, maybe we do. Micro Machines on suction cup wires.
Yeah, right? He's not busy. Right? We can get Alex to do the sculpts.
He's every day's a vacation for that man.
You can tell. He's so
tell.
Chill. He's
too
so
relaxed.
Totally. It's ridiculous how relaxed he is.
Yeah, no. So that tells me he's not
when
busy
they say
enough.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, it's in his head.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's just like maybe he needs an office. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he needs some real work. We'll give it to him.
Get a real job. Yeah. Work for Applause round 2.
Yeah, we need to, or just reissue. Like the molds for these must exist somewhere. Do an American release of these.
Do they? Because sometimes I feel like they don't.
I don't know. I mean, Pepsi Japan, I guess we could do a deep dive. Someone start a channel.
Dude, for sure. Yeah, someone start a channel. Yeah.
And figure out who was the originator of the Super Buff at Hasbro.
God. If I had more of like the classic toy connections, like I would just like I would love to do a documentary of that for Disney Plus.
I'd watch it. I mean, my threshold's super low, but I'd watch it.
Right. That's my but I would, that's like one of my dream things would be like the toys that made us, but just Star Wars and just
but just the weird questions. Just the weird ones.
We already know how this stuff gets made.
Yes.
Tell me why.
Let's like specific toy origins. Like trace the development process for a given toy.
Right. Like, and at what point did they look at real Ghostbusters and go, hey, let's put a very intense engineering, into these, let's take superpowers and let's dial it up.
But also cut corners on the type of plastic so they don't hold up long term.
They weren't even thinking long term. They were thinking like they'll play with these and it's done and they're garbage and that's it.
I mean, some of those broke right out of the package.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
I mean, some of those fright features, you're lucky if you got a couple of goes on them.
That's it. You see, I'm lucky. My Egon still has its tie. My favorite thing to do is to tell people that I'm going to go to their house, like Santa Claus and the Grinch, and break their ties off.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, I think you're a little confused about what Santa Claus does.
Yeah, like I guess, I had to go from Santa Claus to Grinch, make sure that, but people used to get so mad. Like, I'm going to go and I'm going to go break off your Egon's tie. Just, you're a monster. You're a monster. Yeah, I'm just like,
that's right. Cry. You made Jay cry.
That's right. I know. That was like one of the most, there was a part of me that was like super worried when when Colleen went downstairs, like, please grab the right toy. Please grab the right toy. Right? To break the new one, not the old one. Because if you break the old one, I have to give him mine. Because, like, it was like a little bit of anxiety, but then she did it and then she couldn't do it. And I was like, what the hell did they do?
Yeah.
They fixed the tie.
Finally. It only took 35 years.
Yeah.
But you know what? But it shows never stop innovating. And that's
Never,
the lesson that
right?
people need to take away from this.
Yep.
Because
Always
all
pack.
these shows need to end on a lesson now.
Yeah, that's right. Always pack one carded, one loose. That's what I have learned.
Always be innovating.
Yeah.
ABI,
awesome.
which
Cool.
is a thing from a play. Thank you again for being. They should all follow you on what's your? I know you're on Blue Sky, but you do not post there.
I do. Yeah, it's just I barely even post on my own Instagram. So everything is easy to find. Ryan Doell 31. Bang, across the board.
Go do it. Go subscribe to all those channels. Go watch. You got so many hours of content to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just added 4 more.
And you know what? You don't even have to subscribe to his channels. Go to any channel and he will show up.
Yeah, that's
at
right.
some point. Because he is every channel's guest.
Eventually I'll hit it all.
Yeah. No, well, you know, clearly this is you're meant to walk the earth.
I need a ToyTuber passport and I need to get stamps.
I think you are the ToyTuber passport.
Eventually I'll get there.
I think you're the one who stamps other ToyTubers and say, you know what? You've now been doled.
Oh, nice. Yeah, maybe I should need a Dole stamp. That's what I need to do.
You need to get the embossed. You got to get the embossed stamp and the gold foil.
100%.
Well, this
or
is
at least some melted wax.
Oh, yes. Just do the melted wax on all of the ToyTubers that you approve. I poured the wax. I haven't done the stamp yet. Stop moving.
Stop twitching. Stop. God damn it.
It's not going to be clean.
God, this is going to hurt your arm hair. Stop it.
You're really hurting me more than you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for whoever is watching this. Shout out to Paul. In fact, Paul, if you made it to the end, what's the phrase, Ryan, for Paul to prove that he made it to the end of this?
Oh,
that'll show that he's a real friend and he cares.
Oh, yeah,
and he's supportive and really stuck through this.
That he's gonna want a shout out to the SOC.
Okay, that's just for Paul Sun-Young Lee.
Yeah,
shout out to the SOC. And also always be innovating. Bye, everybody.
All right, have a good night.
And now I reach for the button and but over here there's a stop.